Hello. Yes. Where do they even go on the stream? Can you even see them? I think they're buried underneath. Oh, they're underneath stuff. Let's see. Oops. How about there? Try it again. Let's try this one. We're still stuck with Mega Drive Redeems. I think it is loud. I'm not sure, but I think it might just be this intro movie. We'll have to see when we get. I tried to test it, but I think the game itself is quieter. I think just this video is beyond my control. Because there is a setting in game to turn the music down and things, so we can tinker with that perhaps. But I think the introduction movie is just, it's deafening compared to the rest of the game perhaps. But yeah, this is the summer. Because how's this music now? This is what the music should sound like, I think. Is this loud? Or was it just that video? Chakan's out of stock, thank God. Who bought him? Much better. So I haven't changed anything. Freddy Dingo, hello there. Long time no see, hope you're well. I'm good, how are you? I noticed, what were you streaming the other day? You hadn't been on for a while. I want to watch that intro though for a second, so please excuse me. Born of Fate. Please turn your volumes down. Raised by a prophecy. Now she's called Flea, I think. Chosen as a savior. Doubted by his allies. Who's that? Who's that? God, that first city. I'm excited! Destined to destroy. How are you? Yeah, that's the stream tonight. Devoid of vigilance. Right, we should be good, but hello there, everyone. This is the first city. To be honest though, like, we say first city, it's pretty much, if I remember, it's like the only city. So, I'm just going to put this on for a second while I'm yapping. This music's rather chill, I think. I love this music. This is the credits music. But you can watch it at any time. But yeah, that first city, it's sort of like the biggest city, but it's also like, I think all the other cities are really tiny in comparison, if I remember, or like just for story purposes. But I do remember the first time I played it, this game, that city just never ends. It's probably going to take several streams to get through that city. I'm not going to play this all the time, but I'm going to dip in this maybe, I was thinking, I don't know, maybe once or twice a week. I might even shift this to be, you know what, I used to do like Oblivion on like a, well, I used to do it on a Sunday because I'd work on Monday, but maybe Monday could be the new Sunday. Maybe I'll do Summoner Mondays. Sunday's a missed opportunity. I actually haven't got out of it. I got to a super puzzle. Super puzzle is like the first real dungeon, if I remember. I remember up to the sewer, and then I don't remember the rest of the game, except some really weird stuff later on. Sorry, I think I'm like breathing heavily down the microphone now. But yeah, it's sort of it goes in weird places, this game does, and I vaguely remember the final confrontation, but I don't remember who's involved, but I just remember where it is. But I'm not going to say anything because we'll go through this together. But yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know if we'll get to the city. We've got the tutorial to do, because I'm probably only going to do a couple of hours tonight, but then we'll see how we get on. Sadie's here, hello. Oh, we're not going to watch that. We're not going to watch that. We'll save that for another time. As funny as it is hilarious. Sound volume. So I'm going to leave these for now. This sounds a good volume. Camera rotation. I can't remember what I want. I'll dick about with it when we're in the game. Vibration. Does anybody bother with vibration? I'm going to. Maybe it'll go down the microphone. It'll be lovely. Chain attacks. Now, I have to explain something. I think the first bit doesn't take that long. It does when I'm playing though. I like to look at every nook and cranny. Set chain attacks. So you can see it's because I'm playing the PAL version and I'm in Japan, so I'm on an NTSC TV, what's it, whatever you call it. This is not 60 Hz, this is 50 Hz, and it's going through a HDMI cable. So unfortunately, and there's nothing I can do about it, about a centimetre of the bottom of the screen has been cut off. As far as I can tell, it's not going to be a huge deal. Also the top. So yeah, whoops. We're just going to have to put up with that text at the bottom. It's also the same on my television as it is on stream. It's rather irritating. Chain attacks, automatic. I think I want them on manual if I remember. I think that's the best way. It's a bit like Vagrant Story, if I remember. You have to tap with the button. Solo mode confirmed. Toggles confirmed before entering solo mode. I don't think I need that. Don't know what it does. I don't have the manual with me. I don't have the box with me. All I have is the disc. So we shall hop in. I've got an energy drink.
You've got a secret.
I found a secret bonus point. Let's go. Oh, we also have to have really long loading, so we're not going anywhere yet. I should just sit here uncomfortably in the silence with my drink in front of me because I don't want to make drinking sounds over this silent loading screen. Well, how are you all doing? Let's also shout out, who was it that popped in earlier? Well, not who was it, but how do you spell Freddy Dingo's name? Ghostbusters 2? What was that, Tom?
I am Joseph of Suran, Joseph of Masad, farmer, cotter, plowman, Sahugani, summoner. 9 years ago I destroyed the village of Suran with a power I could neither control nor understand. A power passed down through generations for thousands upon thousands of years. A power I never asked for and never wanted. 9 years ago, raiders attacked Suran. To save my village, I unleashed the demon, and the demon massacred all in its path. The raiders, my friends, my family. The survivors blamed me, and who else were they to blame? I wore the ring. I called forth the demon. And so I left the ruins of Suran in exile and outcast.
The music's gorgeous.
But I was not alone. My companion was a vagabond named Iago, an old beggar who had come to Suran the year before looking for the child born with the mark of the summoner. Looking for me. Iago said he'd teach me how to use my gift.
Oh my god, is that his face?
How to use the ring that only those born with the mark could use. And now we were both vagabonds, hated and feared. We came to the village of Masad, and I threw the ring down a well. I told Iago to go away and never trouble me again with talk of prophecies and destinies. I was finished with my power. I swore on the graves of all who perished in Suran that I would never summon again.
And I never did. The end. Wow, it's Vagabond story.
But the one thing I tried to escape was the one thing that came looking for me. And that is where my story begins.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Let's play Summoner 2. THQ presents. I did love the transition into the in-game graphics. It is lovely.
The year was 596 Vorno Mediva. 300 years after the Medivan conquest, 1,000 years after the fall of Ikemos, and 12,000 years after the Third Arenegeth and the death of Urath, god of the Sudani.
God, the Arenegeth, it's all coming back to me now. That's something. Made by Volition. It's a very underrated game, I think, this, in terms of lore. It's the first game I think I ever played that was...
Murad the Usurper, Emperor of Orenia, a realm far to the north across the sea, invaded the shores of the Kingdom of Mediva. Led by the infamous Four Riders, Murad's soldiers laid waste to the villages along the Dahu River. One night, they came to Masad. The soldiers were looking for a boy with a mark on his hand. The mark of the summoner.
No, it's not the summoner, it's summoner. Basic controls tutorial. Dun dun dun. How was the volume on that? Was that a good level? I don't know what would affect that. The voices, because the only options I have is music and sound. But was that audible? Basic controls tutorial. This tutorial will explain the basic controls for Summoner. It's fine, I can hear it okay, good. Can you hear it well though? The music and everything. You can quit this or any other tutorial anytime by pressing triangle more. Joseph can be moved with the left stick, yada yada yada, move forward, push left stick. Pulling the left analog stick back towards you. Oh, is this when we still don't quite know how to use analog sticks? Causes Joseph to move towards the camera. Pushing the left stick, left or right, makes Joseph run in that direction. While Joseph is running, the camera automatically positions itself behind him. No, it doesn't. You can also manually control the camera using the right analog stick. Moving the right analog stick forwards or backwards zooms in and out. Left and right rotates it. You can switch camera modes by depressing the left analog stick. Following camera modes are available. Low. Camera remains close to the ground unless you enter a small indoor area. High. Camera remains above Joseph in a 3/4 view of the action. Because there's a PC port of this, and I confused myself earlier because I thought this was made afterwards, but it's a console game originally. I feel like the PC version made you do the high perspective or something. Has anybody actually played the PC version? I was going to play it on Steam, but I bought it and then I pressed play and then nothing happened because Steam and PC gaming is so much fun. Another waste of money. Camera remains above Joseph in the 3/4 view of action. This view is useful in combat situations involving many creatures. Auto. Wow, we'll leave it for that for now. Pressing down on the right analog stick causes the camera to automatically swing behind Joseph, which has been rotated away. The start button pauses the game at any time. End. Whoa! Oh, it does move rather well actually. Well, not that well. Okay. What frame rate is this? 27, I think. Okay. Let's change that camera but low. High. I think high ends up being sort of the most effective, if I recall. But not necessarily the most interesting. How about auto? Some weird crackling going on. How's the music? Should I turn it up in-game, or is that a good level? I might turn it up on my own headset. Fire. I think it's just the music crackling in weird places. The crackling on the fire is a little bit different. Look at that draw distance. Oof. It's been a while since I played such an old PS2 game. Sounds good, thank you. This frame rate's not capped. It's sort of picking up and going down as we go. Is there a map? Oh, there is. You have to fill in the maps, that's always fun. Alright, let me just check everything. How do pickups work? I can't remember. Does something pop up when you can, like, say there's something in the barrels? It would inform you, right? Before you need to press anything. Why is your man highlighted as a FIFA player? Because this is like a sort of a CRPG, I guess. But well, in the spirit of. But it does look a bit EA Sports. I think so. Ooh, Mullick. Joseph. Hello. Dialogue tutorial. I used to think this was great when I was a kid. because you can do it with the pause menu as well, but like just spinning the camera around like the Matrix and stuff. This is Joseph's friend Mullick. Joseph can talk to nearby friendly characters by pressing X. Game pauses. Cursor appears under the nearest character. There we go, it's cursor. In range, and a bubble appears over his or her head. You can cycle through the characters in range with the left analog stick. Characters with important information have double exclamation marks over their heads. Once you have selected the character with whom you would like to speak, press X. Alright. Go ahead and talk to Mullick. Hello there. There's nothing there. Oh! It's a, it's like a... Oh my god, what the hell is cancel? What am I doing? Triangle is cancel. So if you just press X, like, near stuff, then you cycle through like a sort of... It's almost like Pillars of the Earth, I want to say, if anybody's played that on console. Talk to Mullick. Let's go. So you can see it's cutting off the top, but oh well. We worked in the field... Oh, tutorial again. When Joseph is talking to a character, yeah, you can choose dialogue stuff. I think we can figure that out. Topics being covered. It is removed from the topics list. New topics are added to the list. Again, access new topics could also be gained after completing quests or talking to other characters. Mullick has quite a bit to tell Joseph. Go ahead and continue talking to him. You can stop a conversation at any time by choosing the farewell topic or pressing triangle. We worked in the fields, planting wheat and rye. The day's shadows grew long. Over Nado's hill, I saw them ride, 4 horsemen with an army of butchers close behind. Horsemen? Half men, half beasts, villains from a bard's song. They carved poor Ruau in half and attacked us with arrows of flame. We who survived are too scared to stay and too scared to run. Dear. Remember that we didn't have a lot to say, did he? Remember that many characters in Summoner have important and interesting things to say. Talk to everyone you can. And just like that, the fire went out. Is that all we had to say? I actually don't know what any of the other buttons do yet. What are the Whoops! I've just found out how to take my sword out. Wait, where's the map gone again? There we are. Pan view. Lock view. Oh. It's funny how you can be so incompetent at controls in a game when you first start playing it. It is hilarious. Just standing there like a leek while everything is on fire around him, like a lemon. Leek works too. Are you voice talking again? You know, this doesn't look like much now. The game was a little bit jank at the time, a little bit, but it had its moments. Like I actually vaguely remember looking at the river. This river was like, this is not PlayStation 1. I remember being like, ooh. No, oddly enough. How did you... Right, we've just come through that. You see what I mean? I'm not gonna... This tutorial section will take me longer than you expect. Having come firm in the X position when I was playing Knights of the... blah blah blah, I forgot what it is called, but I know what you mean. The Republic, the old Republic, kept throwing me. But you know what's really cursed on this game? Cancel is triangle. And circle is open the menu. Oh, we've got... Can't talk now, sorry. Got another tutorial. Spells tutorial. This is the spells menu. Along the top of the menu are 6 different circles of spells that look like squares to me. Heal, dark, energy, holy, fire, and ice. You can scroll between the various circles by moving left or right. You can select spells within a circle by moving up or down. Circles in which Joseph does not have any spells are not available. At level 1, Joseph has access to the heal spell. Oh god, there's loads of customization. This is where I'm going to stress out. I've never played a game like this on stream. It'll be fine. To cast heal, press either... It's a good warm-up for Baldur's Gate, which I eventually want to play. X or circle. When the spell is highlighted, a cursor appears below Joseph, indicating that he is the current target of the spell. The window also appears listing the available targets for the spell. A spell that helps Joseph and his allies can be used only on them, while an offensive spell can target only enemies. You can scroll through the target list by moving up or down. Once the target has been selected, press X or select to cast a spell. You know, this is sort of a precursor to like Dragon Age, console Dragon Age. It's got that sort of stop-start, but slightly feels like a console game as well. Using a spell costs ability points, represented by the blue bar next to Justice's portrait. Characters recover AP slowly over time or by drinking potions. As Joseph's skill in a spell circle increases, he gains access to more powerful spells in that circle. Higher level spells cost more AP than lower level ones. You can see the current level of your spell circles by pressing triangle and choosing the skill options. I do remember everybody needing heal. Spent half the budget on the water effects. I just remember the grinding in this game on the world map is torture. Yes, I do vaguely remember doing a bit of grinding. If it's the worst case scenario, I'll just do it off stream, but we'll see how we get on. Maybe some people like a chill chat and grind. Right, restores HP to target. Really pisses me off that some of this is cut off at the bottom. No, I don't need to. Oh, it's gonna be combat time. I wanted to do one more thing before... Oh, here we are. This is what it's talking about. So, when we level up, don't you have to... We put points into these? Oh, God. Isn't dodge... You have to press the dodge and stuff, don't you? I vaguely remember... Is it... One of the characters flee? AI? Melee? Ah. I vaguely remember flee... Doesn't she have some sort of kick that's like insanely powerful? Like she just boots the shit out of enemies, knocks them flying. Somebody has a kick attack, I think it's this game. Good for knocking people over. And she has the backstab. I love being flea. No, please don't. Don't kill him. How do I help you? Oh, it's too late. This Oranian scout... So Orania, if I remember in this, is basically Asia. It's very weird that it's got this sort of like medieval fantasy vibe about it, but then also a sort of a feudal oriental as the opposition. I guess, isn't that a bit like Remedy Feist does or something? This Oranian scout is about to attack Joseph. Joseph will have to fight back. I should play this back in the day, exactly the sort of thing I'd love. Oh yeah, because you're a big Boulders person, aren't you? You probably would have loved this then. This is my only experience with that sort of game back in the day. Joseph will have to fight back. You can attack enemies by pressing X. It's never too late as well, Balibat. Never read his stuff. I try to read Magician. My sister loves that. You can attack enemies by pressing X when they are within range. When you press X, the game pauses and the cursor appears on the nearest enemy. You can attack for the enemies. You have to bear with me because I do need to know how to play this game, unfortunately. In range with the left analog stick. The red bar of the enemy represents HP, which decreases to take damage. A full red bar means that he's taken no damage. After you select an enemy you would like to attack, press X. Once the target has been selected, Joseph automatically engages the enemy. He continues to fight until he or his foes runs out of HP, or you issue him another... I know what I want to check. I want to check how to save after this. The red bar next to Joseph's portrait represents his current HP. If Joseph's HP is 0, he falls down, incapacitated, and unable to move or perform any actions. If everyone in your group is incapacitated, the game ends, and you must either reload from a save game or start a new game. If an enemy attacks Joseph and you do not respond, Joseph automatically draws his weapon and defends himself. During combat, numbers appear over the character's head. White represents damage, yellow... Oh, white is enemy damage, yellow is damage to Joseph. Blue represents percentage modifiers to that character's attack. You receive a bonus for attacking a creature from above or behind, and are penalised from attacking from below. Oh my god. I remember playing this on PC. Hey Haggard. I've never played the PC version. I only played this one. Interestingly that it was made for this though. Loved WRPGs and high fancy about them. Because I'm not a PC gamer, I never got into most of those. Supplies. I think this is probably about it. Oh, Retro's here as well. Hello. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to play this game, so it's going to be tutorial times. So, yeah, because there's also slope damage, isn't there? Is there slope damage on this? Like attacking from... Oh, I don't remember. We'll find out. Below. The game will now unpause and the scout will attack Joseph. Oop. No, he won't. So I used to love doing this. Oh, that's the chain thing. How do you do chain? Is the tutorial going to tell me? You have to press when that symbol appears, but I don't know what button to press because is it square? Oh, this is the skills menu. Along the top of the menu are 6 different categories of skills: combat, stealth, creation, examination, weapons, and spells. Oh, we're doing some shout outs. Can you give Techie Rob one as well, please? Van Terrace and Barley Bat, if you don't mind. This is the skills menu. I mean, not that it need. I can just say, like, do click on them. It's not like I have one of those fancy clip things that you all have, but it's still nice. Chex Quest HD. Oh, I googled that. That was that cereal game, wasn't it? This is the skills menu. Along the top of the menu are 6 different categories of skills: combat and stealth, creation, examination, weapons, and spells. You can scroll through the various categories by moving left or right. You can select skills within the category by moving up or down. Categories in which Joseph does not have any skills are not available. 2 types of skills: active and passive. Active skills are used like spells by pressing X or square. I thought it was circle. Using an active skill costs ability points, represented by the blue bar, blah blah blah. Do not have any skills. More skills will become available as he gains experience levels. Passive skills are automatically activated in appropriate situations. You can see the status of a passive skill, but they are never selectable. That'll be the dodge thing. Weapons and spell categories do not contain any active skills. The skills in those categories represent proficiency with weapons or spells. Bloody hell. At level 1, Joseph has a low proficiency with sword weapons. This means he can wield swords, but is not particularly skilled in their use. Skills are rated from 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest. You can see your current level of skills. Do you remember, Van Terrace or anybody else? Is there a way to reset skills? I don't remember stressing so much about character builds when I played this back in the day. So I would have only been about, I don't know, 14 anyway. Dynamite Headache. You can see the current level of your skills by pressing triangle and choosing the skills option from the menu. Okay, so we've got push. Knocks, that might be what I'm thinking, yeah, push. Knocks target off balance, easier to gain chains. Sword weapons. I don't know how, when's the tutorial going to explain chains to me? Or is it R1? Is it like Final Fantasy? Yes, I think it is. When the guard died, he dropped a weapon. You can pick up nearby items by pressing X. You see the targeting cursor like the one used to target characters, but it appears on the item that is closest to you. As the targeting characters, you can use the left analog stick to change the targeted item. During battle, Joseph may take damage. Joseph has a spell called Heal. Use potions. Okay. Examine container. Worn katana. Probably get the option when you level up. Item picked up. I just remember it has that sort of thing like Vagrant Story. Let's do low camera. I want to see what's going. Ooh, it's a bit too low. How's high at a close zoom? Not very nice, is it? Okay. Oh, I wanted to check how to save first, because I do believe you can save at any time. Space available. Space required. Oh, I need to raise some of my memory card. We're gonna can have 2 saves. Like drinking my drink, but that lady, she's trying her best. Are you okay, girl? Oh, excuse me. Talk to AS sick. Is it a Mountain Dew? No, it's a green monster. How are you? I lived a fool and now I'll die a fool. An old martyr's dream made me fight. I beg of you, bring this sword to my nephew's ears. Oh, Iris. Your nephew, Iris? My grandfather's grandfather made this sword and died long ago in Nado's Hill. Where's Nado's Hill? I keep hearing about this. He was Falcon Eye's standard bearer and the greatest warrior in our village. The blade is ancient, but I've cared for it well. Look how it gleams in the sun. This is the time for that. You're like dying on the floor. But look how it gleams in the sun. We must flee to Lenelay. Lenelay, I think works for me. Lenelay? Never. The blood of my ancestors sanctified this soil. I will die here or live forever. But the dead have no use for swords. Give this blade to my nephew. He lives in Lenelay. Do you see the serpent coiled around the hilt? As he dies. Regained A6 sword. Oh. Farewell. I do see it. You, hello? Can I use it? What have we got? How do you know what's good? Info. This well-used sword inflicts only a small amount of damage upon foes. So it's a bit garbage then, isn't it? Speed, damage 25, value. Do we have a weight limit on this? I don't even remember. A6 sword. This sword was crafted by A6's great-great-grandfather, standard bearer to the legendary Lord Falcon Eye Massad. What's my sword? A short sword. This sword causes a small amount of damage. Speed is 1. 35 damage though. So the katana's fast. Whoops! Oh, I think I didn't really... No, we'll stick with the short sword. I do vaguely remember using a katana. What have I just done? Oh, circles going through categories. Right, where's the map? That person's gone. Let's just check there's no items. I think you kind of need to just run around on this game like mashing the X button. Look at that leak over there. Still there. Oh, what a nice boy. Thank you, Chrono Gear. It's very kind of you. Is it all that summoner hype? Can we go in this house? Nope. I am a nice boys. Oh, too many ways to go. Why was he crawling over this way, though? I'm so glad that you added this as an alert. It's alright when it plays. I find it a bit hard to see the TV. You know, sometimes these I find on modern TVs, PlayStation 2 is the hardest to see visually. It just sort of, because of all the jaggies and stuff, and the way, I don't know if you can see on that wall, like as you move, it sort of like shimmers at you. It's kind of a bit, ooh, this game is already pretty dark. So what I figured out how to do, I've used the filter in OBS. So this might mean, I don't know, but it might mean going forward we may be able to play and finish Shadows of Memories. I'm hoping, because I managed to get a filter on that brought the brightness up and brought the colour out, because I noticed on OBS this was really dark, so I'm hoping this, does this look passable right now? I think it looks, what you should be able to see is how I see on the TV, I think now. Maybe it's a little bit darker. Let me just, hang on a second, let me just compare. Oh, maybe it is a touch darker. Maybe I could tweak it a tiny bit more. How do you think? How do you think? With your brain? It'll be brighter when we get to the next bit anyway. It will. Look at the way that the game just sort of like pops in. Can't even see. Ooh. Ugh, the camera always leaves a lot to be desired on this. I don't want to miss any goodies. Maybe I should. Ooh, we're off. Oranian soldier, scout. Chain attack tutorial. During combat, Joseph has the ability to support chains of special attacks. Chain actions can be used only in melee combat and cost ability points to perform. Notice the chain symbol that appears over Joseph's head just as he's about to swing at the opponent. Chain attacks can be executed only while this symbol is visible. Check the log piles. I think I remember some stuff there. Will do. To perform a chain attack, press what? Oh god, yes, I remember it all now. It's the D-pad. Up, down, left, right. The direction you choose determines which special attack Joseph performs. That's it. Pressing up causes Joseph to perform an added blow attack. If successful, this attack inflicts normal damage. Down performs a desperation attack. If successful, the attack inflicts damage proportional to the HP Joseph has lost. The lower his remaining HPs, the more damage he inflicts. Don't you know that this is a Western game and not been translated because they call it HPs instead of just saying his remaining HP? Pushing left causes Joseph to perform a confusion attack. If successful, the attack drains APs from the opponent. Pushing right causes Joseph to perform a push attack. If successful, this attack pushes the opponent backwards. Gives Joseph more time to perform. Do we get to customize these if I remember or not? Or different characters have different ones? Once Joseph has performed a chain attack often enough, he gains access to new chain attacks. Oh my god, there we go. You can access these new chain attacks to... Yeah, there we go. You can assign them. Polarized HP feels cursed, but not as cursed as triangle being cancel. So the directional buttons. Go to the skills menu to do this. After each successful chain attack, you are given another chance to... You are given a chance to perform another. Opponent cannot attack you while you're chaining. Each chain you perform must be different from the previous one. There's no limit to the number of attacks that may be chained, but the chain symbol appears for a shorter period each time. Yeah, the combat's actually quite fun, because I'm not a huge fan of sort of Western RPG combat things. I think this one sort of tried to make it a bit more engaging, especially for being on console. I think you need that. If you attempt a chain attack, I bet it's a bugger on PC. Before the chain symbol appears or after it disappears, the attack fails and the chain is broken. With practice though, you'll be able to chain many attacks together, giving the enemy no chance to strike back. One more thing to remember, one more. Wielding a faster weapon makes performing chain attacks easier. Oh, so that's why the katana was, I remember, being good, because it's faster. It may be to your advantage to equip a faster weapon that does less damage if it enables you to chain more attacks. There we go. Oh. Bam, chain bomb. Oh. Dead. Absolutely trashed him. Wasn't triangle cancel in the Western Final Fantasy? Oh my god, was it? I mean, in this it's also opened the menu, so it's sort of not terrible. Let's have a look at those skills then. Increases percentage to hit with swords and daggers. Chance to dodge attacks from all sides. Chance to chain attacks. Heal. And this is where you assign them. Press the new direction button. I shall leave it as it is. Desperation, confusion. Yeah. This is what I remember the kick being, I think. Okay. How do I cancel? It's not circle. Pretty sure it was on PS1. Now that you've said that, it rings a bell. They also used to love square being menu a lot on random games. Let's try. There's nothing here. the draw distance on this game does make it a little bit disorientating. I'm just gonna make sure we don't miss anything. Frantically pressing X. There's something there. Have we been over there? There's a tree blocking the way. Oh. Okay, right, well that's all that area covered. Circle to confirm. I like that though, don't you? Can we go in the field? No, there's an invisible wall. So those of you that weren't here, so basically we're a summoner and we can summon demons. And when we were younger we did it and destroyed our hometown. And now we're older and so we're not summoning no more because it makes us sad. But I think it's something to do with there's a prophecy. Oh, the camera is pissing me off. There's a prophecy that there's a boy, a summoner, who will destroy the king or something, the evil emperor. And so that's why we're living here and this town has been ransacked by the opposing army because their leader wants to find me and kill me. It's all about me. Oh, pick up the gold, yes. Sorry, sucks to be you. Or maybe it doesn't because you don't feel anything. Oh, there we go. So that's how it works. I want to test before I open that though, like how far away before that registers? From here? No. 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 You kind of need to know how close you got to get before it will register. Oh, okay, so around about that distance in order to interact with something. Found revive scroll. That's good. Pity he didn't find it, eh? Circle to confirm is my best pal. Mine too. Can we zoom? I want to zoom the map. That would be nice. There's no zoom. Oh, somebody else is dead over here. Ooh, what's that though? Oh, it's a person. Radar is dead. There is nothing to be done. Wait. Oh. Miller is dead. There is nothing to be done. Oh, what we examining? Found 3 gold. But they are still dead. I have OCD and I need to uncover the map, I'm afraid, so you'll have to bear with me. Okay. Steve is alive. There is work to be done. Oh! Hello there. No. No, get the sword out, you idiot. Right, get him, get him, get him, bop him good. Bam. And bam. Too slow. Give him a good kick. So what you need to do, like when you're nearly dead, that's when you need to press backwards, because if I press it right now, it's going to be trash. Oh, he's dead. I was going to show you, but I'm not allowed. Talk to Leko. Leko's face turns dark with hatred. Oh, it's you, Joseph. What curse have you've brought to Masad? Villain, sorcerer. I'd spit. What? I'd split your brain pan myself if I could. Over here, the farmer shouts at the top of his lungs. The boy is over here. He has the mark. What a dick. Wow. I think we ruined that story moment by already killing the guy though. Can we kill you? Fuck this guy, right? You know? Can I not be like chaotic neutral? What is that? Here lies. Here lies? I mean, quite literally. Greyhawes, the village Hayward. It's not a tombstone though, is it? Oops. What's a Hayward? Oh, is he a ward of hay? Can you loot the soldier? Can I loot the soldier? This looks a lot like Morrowind, does it? I haven't played any of Morrowind actually. Where? Oh, no, because he's gone. I assume he would have dropped something though, visibly. Quite literal. Yes. Very quick with these obituaries. Ornean Scout. Oh, Bop, you good? Oh, too slow. Push. Oh shit. Takes a while to get used to this. Whoop, too slow. Ooh. 15. It is actually quite fun. It looks like real Jang. I think a lot of people back in the day, and even anybody who wants to try this now, I think people would have like put this on for up to about where we are, if not even before, and gone, wow, this is Jang. But when you really get into it, it's actually very endearing, I think, and the combat system, you can really get your teeth into it, sort of like frantically pausing, and what else have we got going on? Because you get spells and other characters, you can like switch between them. I'm pressing the wrong thing. Does my health regain over time? AP does though, doesn't it? So maybe I should just heal. Ooh, the vibration. There we go. You get the other characters if I remember, and there's like a thief character who can turn invisible with her cloak, and she can do like back attacks, and it's really fun. But I think initially when you first look at the game, it's just, it looks very sort of, it looked a little bit dated even at the time. I feel like it got 8 out of 10 in review magazines though. Definitely a dead end. Right, we'll get you. Oh shit, too slow. See, sometimes if you just got low health, the desperation tab rips, if I remember. When I see Morrowind gameplay, the character design looks very similar. The first area is kind of drab visually too, maybe not putting its best foot forward now. When we get to the city though, if it will be. The music though is very Legacy of Kain. I'm actually shocked that it's not the same composer. I looked it up because I was listening to it earlier and I was just like, this sounds so much like Legacy of Kain. Yeah, you absolutely, actually, it is coming back to me now. It's a bit of a grindy one. I do remember trying to get the XP. Really helps you out. Pick up the 10 gold, there we go. But there's nothing there though. I think that's it. Like I've said earlier, because I told Barley about that I was going to play this. We were talking about, is it a long game? I think it's one of those games like, if you see this area, it's very small, but I'm just being very thorough. I think if you're one of those people that just like bombs through the whole game, it probably won't be the longest. I think the story itself, if you just speak to only the compulsory people, because the game tells you, because it puts exclamation marks over their head if they're not incidental, you can really sort of like rush through. But I feel like it's almost like, you know, if you play Shenmue, where like, yeah, you can finish Shenmue in about 5 hours or less if you want to, but like you've kind of missed the whole experience by doing that, because what I think a lot of the joy of the Summoner was at the time when I played it was just really getting into the world and the lore and enjoying going around and stuff, not rushing to the next, what you call it, story flag. You want to walk around town and get to know the city life, and you learn a lot of the backstory that way and all the lore, which makes the story far richer. I think I put most of my points into dodge. I remember doing that for Flea, for sure. Take 5 hours just looking at for the sailors. Exactly. I do it on purpose in Shenmue. I deliberately let the shops close or stuff, so I have to do something. See, like this is a compulsory. Well, I don't think it's compulsory, but it's the game's telling you this is something you need to talk to, probably. Madra. Shh. The Rennies are about. Oh, that's what Rennies are. I remember being confused as a kid. Obviously, not Rennies as in the medicine. Auranians, I guess. The Rennies are about. I hear the rattle of their swords. They'll kill you all one by one. But they'll not find my hiding place. Hiding place? Yes, and it's mine. I was here first, lad, so go away. You can't hide here too. There's room enough for one, and one alone. You'll get us both killed. Where should I go then? Lenile. Go to Lenile. Behind the walls of the king's city, you'll find sanctuary. There the knights and lords of Medivh will protect you. How do I get to Lenile? That's your problem, lad, not mine. But here, take this vial with you. A swig of this tonic will heal your wounds, if the Rennies get a piece of you. Do you have Rennies in America? Any Americans in the chat? Because don't we have like Rennies in... What are Rennies again? Is it like heartburn medicine? Or no, indigestion? Gained item, health tonic, and some Rennies. Is that all she... Why has she still got... So she'll keep that exclamation mark. Ronnie's battling indigestion. Rennie's, isn't it? Oh, look at that horse. Autocorrect. So it is Rennie's, isn't it? So who's Ronnie? Oh, we had to go through there, I think. Ooh. Gonna drive you all crazy with my backtracking. I want to know what's over here. Unfortunately, or fortunately, does anybody else do this? Because this is how I play video games, like especially when I'm not on Twitch. This is why people say like, "Oh, why does that game take you so long?" Whoops. But I like to get my money's worth. Oh, can we go in here? We can. Although there's perhaps no reason to. I want to find the secret super sword. Okay. Is there any? Too slow. Joseph has reached experience level 2. Experience is gained by defeating enemies and completing quests. When enough experience points have been accumulated, Joseph will attain the next experience level. Each time Joseph levels up, his maximum HPs and APs increase. He also gets skill points that can be used to improve his skills. Flashing plus symbol appears on Joseph's portrait if he has skill points to distribute. To distribute skill points, press triangle and choose the skills option from the menu. I'm also trying to find my air conditioner because I'm feeling cold. He's no match for your overwhelming indigestion. Exactly. Level up, level down. I shall do that in a moment. I'm just going to quickly check what's behind the house. Or in the logs. Oat or note. They really did sort of... Oh, hello. Shit. Rip. Right. What should we do about skills? From this screen you can distribute skill points to the skills that are available to Joseph. On the right hand side of the screen is the full list of skills that are at his disposal. By scrolling up or down you can select the skill you want to raise. Pressing X raises the selected skill by 1 point. No skill level can be higher. See, this is what I liked if I remembered. I think it does sort of like keep you in check by... You have to be the right level. than the character's current experience level. Skill point assignments are permanent. Oh dear. Okay, well, I don't know what's a good one to go with right now. Surely being good with swords. I don't remember though, do we unlock more skills later, like bows or whatever, or... Joseph's gonna probably use swords for the whole game though, right? So, increase percentage to hit with swords and daggers. We probably want that up, right? Chance to dodge. Increases chance to... Increases chance chain attack for next attack. Why is it that increases the chance? Because surely that's just my finger pressing it. And heal. Dodge and sword. Yeah, I was thinking push, but for now we'll just do that, I think. Because less damage is better, isn't it? I probably need heal eventually though. Are we done? Oh, you really can't, you can't go back. You one tap and it's done. Oh no, wait, there we go. Accept changes. Yes, maybe get longer to press the button. Well, I would like that, to be honest. Why they call it push though. Whatever. We'll worry about it another day. And like Elia, the bailiff's daughter, she won't be worrying about anything anymore. I'm just gonna whiz along this wall. Sometimes words just come out of my mouth and all that coffee. I'm still giggling. Just got an image now of like a PlayStation 2 model character whizzing on the wall. Cheeky wee slash. Level that up. I do like the way the push animation. Ooh. It's like a dance. Oh, come on. Ta-da! Put points into Asbo. Dear. I always used to mix up Asbo. What's that shop called? The online clothes shop in the UK? As something? I just think it was Asbo. ASOS, that's it. Gold. Always believe. Oh, there's too many places to go. So much to do and so much to see. I want to get the experience points as well. What's in the well? You know that there's a well. Found 5 gold. Nothing. Get you though. How much would the desperation attack do at this point? 4? It's not bad though, so it's sort of worth it. Probably better than just pushing all the time. Leather boots. Oh, this game has my favourite thing in RPGs, which is it's very common in Western RPGs, I guess, but doesn't anybody else get like super excited when you have visible equipment? I'd forgotten about that. Equip. Let's read first. These boots offer minimal protection to the wearer's feet. Oh, I get so excited when you can see the physical changes. Oh, look at him. Gorgeous. He is ready. Oops, that's not the right button. Right, we've been all round there. I just can't get my bearings with this game. Nothing in those boxes. Nope, nope, no. I just want to fill in the gap on the map before we go to... Because I think we're near the exit now. Oh, there's lots of soldiers there. Can't you get sets in this game? I vaguely remember armor sets. I don't know. I feel like so. I remember getting really annoyed whenever I can't have Flea's cape outfit. Because it looks good. That's the only downside.
I grow powerful.
I grow powerful. I forgot about that. I need that. I need that as a sound file. The tutorial covered it last time. I like it except for the fact that I spent most of Knights of the Republic wearing a ridiculous pair of goggles because my stats were shit hot. I hate that. That's Skyrim stuff, isn't it? It's a double-edged sword. End up sacrificing stats for... Yes, exactly. You're a long way from Final Fantasy XIV glams now, lads, yes. I'm a long way from Final Fantasy XIV. Should I just keep going with this? 10 is the cap though, so in a sense maybe it's just best to get it up to 10 and be done with it. See you, Stubborn. Hey, how's it going? How was your stream? What should I do? Let's do push. I think that's what I was leaning to last time. And then I'll do heal. Because I don't feel like he's... Mind you, isn't it ages before we get the third character that can actually heal? So... But he's going to be able to summon later, isn't he? The game starts to come back to me as I play it. JFC? What you laughing at? All those alert things. Our sounds combine into an unholy oh. I think I've turned it down too much. Let me turn my laptop back up again. I didn't hear them. I grow powerful. I keep wanting to press triangle to view the map and it's not the map. Here lies Sulan, the stable master's wife. It's quite sad. Nothing else around here. I'm gonna kill that soldier. Oh, and he's gone. Is it map select? Yeah, it is. Here lies Donam, a village farmer. A village farmer. Not the village farmer. One of many. Okay. Although you can probably answer, you can do the map from here. If I do that, will it just rest on it? Oh, that's nice. Because select's annoying, you know, you're just trying to walk around. I don't know what L2 and R2 do actually. Just press select anyway. Was that where that lady was? Yeah, okay, right. Done and dusted. The village farmers and their hit single FARM. It's fun to stay. We're at the other side of that tree trunk now. Oh, who's that and what's he fighting? He's fighting me. Bam. And bam. Oh. Devastated him. A worn katana. Oh. The laughing monk. It's cute. Found a healing drought. Right, what do you call these? Do you call them drafts? Droughts? It's one of those words that I only read in my head. Drought? Draught? Draft? Draft. Like a light draft. See, how many of you play like these high fantasy games, and then have you ever streamed them? Because like the minute you stream them, that's when you start to realise like, I don't want to read this out loud. I'm going to sound really silly because I'm not actually sure how to say that word because it's not a word that we use in everyday language. Don't know if it's right. You do. You're so smart. Nothing. My other one is, sometimes people can't even agree on it anyway though, because you know the word when you dethrone someone, like usurper? I've heard people call it usurper, or yeah, usurper. I would say usurper, usurp. I think they said usurp in the prologue for this. Here lies Bars, a village farmer. Usurp, wesurp. Oh, he's another village farmer. The plot thickens. I think this is a farming town. So you just gotta get the lore. Let's have a look. Oh, down into these trees. Oh my god, we can actually go all the way down here. I was hoping it would be a dead end, but it's not. Oh, so much stuff. This game is just... This is what this game is like, though. There's so much, like, places to go. In areas. Oh, not there, though. I'm not sure if this is actually the way that we need to go. Oh, there's a dead end. Because they've obviously carefully blocked all these routes off. On purpose. Ooh. Tristan's what? Libation? What's a libation? A libation? I'd say usurp. Maybe a regional thing. Might be an American thing. Here lies Jorick, tavern keep of the Laughing Oh! What did we just pick up? What is a libation? Shit, I've just used it. What was it? It's a drink. I don't even know what it was. I've just accidentally consumed it. Shit. Do you know what we need to remember to do is fucking save the game, because I can't even load now. I'm gonna save. Oh, I'm devastated. What was that? Does anybody want to Google it and tell me what it does? Somebody's libation. I guess it just blasts us with the stat blast. It probably would have been worth a lot of money to sell at this point in the game, but never mind. Drank it. You know how happy the PlayStation 2 controller is for just double pressing buttons? Cloth gloves. These offer some protection for the wearer's hands. Who'd have thought? Let's put them on. You ready? Oh, dashing. Let's just check if there's anything at the bottom of this river. Oh, I see a Rennie. The monk will not be laughing anymore. He's now known as the deceased monk. Imagine that was the name of a pub. The deceased monk. The dead monk would probably work. Tristan's libation, some protection against damage. He gave us bless. How much is it worth? Pissing on walls, swigging random bottles you're lying around, you're really putting points into Asbo. Also, just totally like demolished my hometown by accident, but whatever. Now that's the end. Oh, do you see that yellow line? That's where we need to go to exit this story sequence. So, I'm going to be incredibly irritating, and we're going to go and check what's at the top. 400... Are you serious? Oh my god, that's so much money at this point in the game, I think, because all these... I've only got 70. Devastating. Oh well. I just need to remember to save more often, so that we could reload. Oh well. It won't be the thing that ruined my game, will it? It's not going to be the soft lock. Would have been lovely though. Could have bought some fancy boots. That's the exit of this tutorial. But let's just... This is the way that we were supposed to come, I think, actually. And I think I went a shortcut to find those items. Oh, we've lost our blast. We're a bit less blast than we were before. The draw distance, though, at least it's not like it doesn't pop in. It sort of like unravels. I find that less distracting than just like boom. Why minus 25%? Oh, the minus 25% is the modifier, and it's because we're on a slope. I remember now. Shit, go back. There's something next to where you picked that up. Gonna close it now. Really? What was it? It wasn't gloves, because I already got those. I'll go back. I'll loop around. But yeah, we don't want to get too... I mean, I don't mind, to be honest, a little bit of information like that, but I do want to explore a bit myself. But if we're missing something, that's fair game. You already got it. Was it gloves? Because I got those. I'm wearing them right now. Can't you see? Stunning. The gloves offer a little bit of protection to the wearer's hands, did you know? I'm still going to loop around anyway though, because I think that's the way the map's going. There we go. Ooh. I need to keep pressing X, there could be something. This song could have just been played over the top of Soul Reaver and nobody would have noticed. Malek! Ah! Ooh, revive scroll. I think we know what that does. It's probably worth money though, but probably better to keep it. Here lies Thorus, the reeve of the village. What's a reeve? Does armor work in D&D where it stops you getting hit, or does it actually reduce damage? No, actually. There's none of that, what do you call it, thwack. It's a pasta. Sometimes I appreciate having you in chat, Vanteris, when we play fantasy games like this, because I know that you'll know what most of the words mean. Let's have a look. Oh, we didn't read about his, oh, you know what we can do? Oh, ah. I just thought we might get to see Joseph's pecs. Equipped by Joseph, this tunic grants good protection to the wearer's torso. Protection 7. Speed. I mean, I'm guessing speed is the bigger the number, the slower we are. Protection 7. Where's our stats then? Oh, quest journal. Asik saw. Oh yeah, the side quest. Asik, a village in Masad, has asked you to give his ancestor's sword to his nephew Eris, or Earith in the future version. The nephew lives somewhere in Leneley. Whoops. So where? Oh, protection 17. So I guess maybe it just is a hard damage reduction. Speed is 104%. Why is it red though? Or a vicar. Oh. Because all I've done is put gloves on. Like, can't you handle gloves and boots? Why are these houses glowing white? Oh, warping. I think we haven't been here though. That's connecting up to there. Okay. Ooh, we can go through this. Might be combined Vicar Mayor. Oh, I should get off the slope because it's ruining my damage. Oh, we get plus. Was that plus 25? Leather boots. So many fancy terms. It's high fancy, this is. Well, it's not actually. It's just, what was it? Fat fantasy. Leather boots. Oh, we're already wearing them. Whatever. And there's the end of that road. Good, good. Looks good to me. Oh, more soldiers. You kind of need to explore in this game too. The other reason is, if I recall, I could be wrong, but because it's quite a grindy game, you want to kill everything to get the experience, or you'll have to do it later. So I'd rather do it as we go. Whoops. I think the game wanted us to go this way, but I went the other way first. I think that's about it. We've killed all the enemies. Nothing. I think there have been more words I don't know in the first area of this than in whole games I've played in Japanese. Exactly right. It is funny when you play like or read heavy fantasy. Like, there's so many English words that we use still in media but don't in real life. Okay, we've whatchamacallit long enough now. Delayed the progress of the story. Antiquated terms. Isn't there another way to say that? Antiquate. No. Antiquity is what I'm thinking of. That's why it sounds different. The stress is different. I'm gonna say, oops. Oh, don't you hate when they push you onto a new save every time? Well, I guess the alternative is accidentally overwriting your save. We'll roll out a new save in a minute though, I think. Oh, did that go off my PlayStation clock? Because I set that today. Oh, I guess the clock... Oh, I think the clock in my PlayStation 2 has died. Happy New Year, 2000. I set that earlier, but I guess when I turned the power off, it went. If we don't run now, they'll cut our throats, says Cag. We'll never reach the boat. The Rennies are guarding the mill, says Naif. Uvala. Why should I leave Masad? This is my home. I'm 100%, this is an in-joke, but I'll explain a little bit about this. I'm 100% thinking of Alundra now, and a character in that. I was joking to Barley Back last night on Discord. Does anybody remember Shooting Stars? Did anybody watch Shooting Stars with Vic, whatever his name was, and Uvavu? Well, as if that has just happened twice in 24 hours. Somebody's got a name like that. Let's talk to Uvala. The one in Alundra is the weirdest name I've ever seen in Japanese. It was literally like Nvu was the name of this character, which is not a usual sort of way to speak. If it's not war, it's the plague. That's the one, Vic Reeves. If it's not the plague, it's a drought. Or rain rots... I mean, I'd rather have a drought than a war. Or rain rots the wheat in the field. I give my offerings at the shrine, but the gods are never pleased. Nothing to do but bury the dead and endure. Endure? Such is our lot, to reap and thresh, to scrub and mend, to gather wood and tend the fire. I feed the pigs and the cows and the chickens, and now we'll have no food for winter. Right, miserable bitch, isn't she? Heyo, Cag, how's it going? Stubborn woman, right? Uvala will have us die here. We'd be safe in Leneley. And I'm so tired of ploughing and sowing and reaping. If the soldiers don't kill us, the winter will. The granaries burn like funeral pyres, and Nado's Hill is still ablaze. Oh, is that Nado's Hill then? Leneley. Leneley is the city of the gods, Joseph. I'll be a merchant and sail the Dahu, or I'll journey across the Sea of Kadim. I feel silly reading this. But I won't leave without Uvala. If she won't go, neither will I. I guess she's staying then. See ya. Whoops. Let's talk to Naf. He's not that great. Joseph, you must leave Masad at once. Soldiers are looking for you. They guard the king's highway, so the river is your only hope. The miller has a boat. Cross this bridge to the mill, but watch out for Rennies. River? Soldiers? Why are they looking for me? Rennies. Why are they looking for me? Lahara, take me if I know. They're looking for a peasant with a mark on his hand, just like the mark you've got. What will they want with you? River? Sail up the Darhood to Leneley, where the king of Medivh holds court. You'll be safe within his walls. And doesn't your friend Yargo or Yago? What was his? He said it in the prologue, and I've forgotten already. Yargo. We'll go with Yargo. Yargo, the vagabond who came to Masad with you all those years ago. He said if you ever needed his help, find him in Leneley. You're in terrible danger, Joseph, but how will that beggar save you? You know, I'm a bit anxious because when we get to town, this is gonna be story times for ages, all the NPC. Cracking me up. La Hebrea, take me if I know. I can only use Vavu in that name too. Vavu. Iranu. But how will that beggar save you? Soldiers. These aren't raiders or brigands. Look at their armor. Look at their swords. These are Aurenian soldiers, Joseph. Minions of the Emperor. That's him. That's the one that wants us dead. They're burning down the village. Oh, are they? Aurenia? Aurenia lies far to the north, not the east. Beyond the deep waters of the Kadim, I've heard only the stories of traders and troubadours. They say Rennies are savages and blood drinkers ruled by the sorcerer Murad. Rennies? Aye. Oh, we've changed his voice. I saw one big as my cottage down by the mill. What? That's an exaggeration, and you know it. His hammer'll take your head off, lad. Oh. Go to Leneley, Joseph, and find Yargo. If the Rennies are after you, perhaps he knows why. How did you rate my performance? 10 out of 10? I don't usually voice on Twitch, but I think with this you just get into it, don't you? With Naf and Uvalu there. Oh. Shit, I should have saved. Here comes the professionals to show me up. Oh, there's that cottage Rennie. It's a terrible time. That bottom lip. It's like, it's okay, but I don't like it that much, really. Barbarian fighter. Some music though. I wonder if is there anything I can pick up before I start fighting him? Aha! Found a recovery tonic. Yes. Oh, we'll kill him first. Shit, this guy. Smack him. I'm level 3. Ooh. It's rave time. Oops. Bops, this is. Ooh. Don't kill him too fast. This is good.
I grow powerful.
Oh. Wow. I guess we could fight, you know, if you really want to. Nah, I've been leveling up. He was no match for me. I did all that tourism. Not quite as big as your cottage, Naf. Not quite. Should we level up? I'm kind of wondering if he'll get more skills though, don't you think? Maybe I should just sit on the points for a while. Do we still gain experience? Let's just sit on them. It is time to leave. Goodbye, Tutorial Town. And farewell.
Having eluded the Aurenians, Joseph sailed to Lenel, where he hoped to find the old beggar named Yago. In the tongue of the ancient Runari, Lenel means City of Gods. For upon this site, the towers of Iliosi stood. Now Lanel was capital of Mediva, seat of King Bellius VI, descendant of the victors of the Medivan conquest.
This music, it's so good. I do, oh my god. Oh, this music's beautiful as well. But I do remember the world map leaves a lot to be desired. It's like satellite view on Google when it's not quite rendered. World map time. Oh, this music is, I'm like shaking my head side to side now. Do 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 do. This comes straight back to me. Oh shit. Encounter. I only moved one step. PS1 textures. It's terrible, this is. We have to load the encounter. We have to load the whole like forest area where this encounter is going to take place. Because you have random encounters on the map. It's basically just a way for the game to let you level up. You can just grind this way. Ooh. I guess we'll do a bit of... Oops. It's like Tomb Raider music now. It's very ambitious, this though. For the time, like I know that PlayStation 2 did do a lot later on, but launch title, this was pretty good. I mean, that's the only reason I had it. Well, I have it right now. The copy I'm playing right now is the version that I had. I mean, I didn't choose it. My brother bought this. He never played it. I did. Why are we not doing any damage? There we go. Oops. I'm gonna do the desperation attacks. But yeah, there was when this came out. Oh, it's really hard to talk and do this rhythm. Shit. Ooh. Spicy. I love how my chains don't seem to be stopping him. Am I about to die? Why are you so strong? Oh, that did not do much. Can I level up like right now? Because I keep missing. Let's level up heal. Oh! Removed. Yeah, so we do need to do that. We need to unlock more spells by leveling up heal. Cast enemies, pure Vagrant story. I think secretly this was influenced by Vagrant Story. Because the whole chain combo thing. But I actually find it less frustrating than Vagrant Story because it doesn't have all that sort of customization. Oh god, the experience from here. But yeah, you can get wrecked on these random encounters at the start of the game. If you get more than one, like, tag team and attacking you, we might be better off just leaving, to be honest. Oh, could get spicy. Not when we've got no party members. Oh shit, he's coming. Save. There's nothing to save, yeah. I'll save after we get out of here, if we do. I don't think you can save right now. I'm not sure, like near a hostile enemy. I'm not sure how that works. Might be good to find out. Keep missing. We can also use this though as a skill. Oops. The lower my health though, the more my desperation will do. Probably better off also trying to move a little. Oh, not there. Ugh. If, oh my god, if my desperation tap would connect. How much health has he got left? We need to get the fuck out of here. No AP. Gosh. This game don't fuck about. Can I use an item? Recovery tonic. Speeds recovery from damage. No, I want hard. Small amount. Health tonic. Moderate. Oh, there we go.
I grow powerful.
Oh, bloody hell. But, yeah, we just leveled up from like 2 enemies. That's kind of ridiculous. Get some more heal. That was bad. All heal? I've done it. Did I accept it? Can I just do 1 for now and see what we've unlocked? Nothing. Oh! We've got staff weapons now. Do I even want to use staves though? I think if I remember though, the leveling up on this was like kind of fun. Got addictive. Oh, I don't know. Dodge is... I think dodge would... I think you're right. Van Terrace would dodge there because we only got fucking ass kicked. That'll do. If you stick between the village and the city, I think there's undead enemies. Do they come at night time or something? If I recall, there's like day and night cycles, isn't there? There is usually... Is this the game that I'm thinking? No, I think I'm thinking of Breath of Fire. Where you had the random question mark encounters, Breath of Fire 3, and there's always like an item somewhere on the map, but I think maybe not here. I think it's just fighting. Let's just maybe get the fuck out of here before we die. Oh, can we save here? Does it work? Well, we can actually save here, but I'm going to save on the map instead. 4 has some of that too. Oh my god, so much loading. I think you're right with the skeletons. I wanted to like trot around the world map a little bit, but not with that shenanigans. What's kind of crazy though is how different the sequel is to this. The sequel is like a proper sort of like action RPG instead. When I was younger, I thought that was really nice about the sequel, but this one did seem to have a larger scope. I think the sequel, what I played of it, felt a little bit more like closed environments, I think. I've never played... Oh shit, I remember these things. I thought we'd gone in the city, but this is another bloody encounter. Oh god, I remember this so much now. This game is coming back to me. Fighting with like... There's a meteor spell I remember using on these bastards. Oh my god. Why is that one a different colour? Do you think it's stronger or weaker? don't want to fight them. What are they? Brown. There's a brown one. Because if they gang up on me, I'm just ruined. See if we can kill one of them. Ooh. These ones are, maybe these are actually more our level. Whoops, a daisy. Kind of wish you could see their health while you're fighting them. That's a bit overlooked. Not having to bring up the thing. Ooh, 118 experience. Back tight tail, I remember that. Oh, we can sell it for money. Oh, this is also, yeah, grinding for tails to sell them. How much till another level? 271. Maybe I should kill another. See how this one is. Oh, he hits a lot harder. Oops. 214. He was definitely stronger then, but it's still the same tail. One more enemy and I'm leveling up. May as well. Oh, I don't want them both to come. Let's just get the brown one. Oh shit. You knew that was gonna happen. As soon as I said it. I have the advantage though because I'm up on a slope. I think dodge is helping.
I grow power.
Woohoo! Let's get rid of you. Ooh. How the accuracy's gone up now that I've leveled up. It's pretty ridiculous. Before, like, none of my attacks were connecting. Yeah, get wrecked. Okay, let's leave. As fun as that was. Should probably also level up. You've grown powerful. I have. Oh, we got parry. Chance to deflect incoming blows. Let's get some of that. Perhaps we should get some more sword going. I feel like yeah, I'm not gonna. Am I gonna use staves with him? Probably not. Exits the world map. I actually thought I'd walked into the town when it turned into another random encounter. Right, there we go. I'm gonna save again after getting all of that stuff. Right, can we go in the town now? Right, before we go in the town though, I'm gonna nip to the loo and get a drink before we go to Leneley and maybe have an hour in the town. I shall be right back. Right, hello. Are we back? I was just munching on some chocolate biscuits. As you do. And now I've lost my controller. Speaking of controllers, though, I did buy a new PlayStation 2 controller that has supposedly never been used. It was a controller that came with somebody's PlayStation 2, like wrapped up in the bag, and they never used it and they sold it. I had to pay for the postage, which was a little bit annoying, but the whole thing came to Tin Sarah raiding. How are you? Thank you for the raid. Oh, sorry, I forgot you were here, Vanteris. I was just like typing out the shout. Thank you for that. How was your stream? We're playing the Summoner. We're just about... So, you said you like story time. We're about to get into the story time. We've just... Sorry, I've got a mouthful of chocolate biscuit, but thank you so much for the raid. Anybody that's just coming in with the raid. We're playing Summoner on the PlayStation 2. We've started it tonight. Barely done any story. Usually I do play a lot of retro stuff, like old Mega Drive games. I'm doing a challenge trying to play through them all, and Sega Saturn stuff. But tonight we're having a night off and we're playing something, well, sort of Tin Terror suggested too. I should just go for it and play something a little bit more story orientated, and I'm having a lovely time, so thank you for that little nudge on Twitter. But how was your stream? Have you not finished that one yet? Pokemon? I never know how to say that. Arceus or Chaos. Tin Sarah Love, Tin Sarah Raid. Hello, Sanares. But yeah, so if you're just joining me, I was about to explain my controller, but what have we done? We've had our hometown has been ransacked. We are the boy that can summon demons or something, but we don't do that anymore because we accidentally destroyed our hometown. The opposing army have come and tried to kill us because the Emperor fears that, I think there's a prophecy that I will rise up and kill him one day. And now we're fleeing for our lives and about to enter this big, huge city, which is probably going to be all I'm streaming for the rest of the evening because it is massive. Believe it or not, I took a long break from it. Yeah, because I thought you were playing that quite a while ago. But yeah, just before I go in, because I'm pretty sure there's a cutscene that plays if I recall. But yeah, I've got a new PlayStation 2 controller, which I'm really happy with. It arrived like a couple of weeks ago, but I haven't really played PlayStation 2, so it's been really nice using this tonight. I need to take really good care of it. It feels good to have one, because the one that I had is so old and so busted. But anyway, we shall jump in. It's an interesting story. I don't remember much of the gameplay. Yeah, it's got loads of lore. It's really exciting. I mean, I've played it before, but it's been a hot minute. Had so many good RPGs. This is essentially the first one. Right, let us go. Encounter. Are you serious? Encounter? I've hyped it all up. Have we got an actual encounter? Who knows? It has a lot of load in this game, unfortunately. Welcome back to battle. I'm running because we've just done one. Nope. Encountering the town. Oh my god, gorgeous. I remember this. Here we are. This city is endless. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that this is going to be the rest of the stream. So I wait like a fool for the ships to come in. I've heard they might sail the fleet to the west and come over land, but the caravan won't get here until winter. Why is his head moving like He's very spicy, this merchant. You might think that there's nothing in this town, but that's just the draw distance. Ooh. Talk to the apprentice. Have you heard? The Rennies are looking for a boy with a mark on his hand. I wonder what the Emperor wants of him. Oh my god, I forgot how cursed these kids' faces are. Talk to me again. Even on the old CRT, look at that. Oof. Only a mother. N64 draw distance. The Dahu is dangerous this time of year. I'll send word when the Bastion arrives. In 2 days, my forge will be idle. They'll use my head for a catapult stone. Oh, what? Did he just run away? The war cannot wait for a laggard ship. The day the Bastion reaches port, the Rennies will storm the gates. We'll have to fight them off with fish and bones. Did that man just run away? Ship's captain. There's gonna be new emotes here. Maybe. Can I get these 3D models? I wonder. The Emperor and the King chose a bad season for war. 3 days we've been waiting for the Bastion, and not a sign of her. Oh, the Bastion's the ship, isn't it? Oh my god, so many people to talk to. Welcome to Lenale, your grace. His Majesty has been expecting you, says the courtier. I hate this river and I hate these boats. They all reek of fish. The War Council will be convened soon. We must hurry. Oh, and off he hurries. He's the Earl. 20 years of peace has rusted my sword in its scabbard. Why do I bother? The king has no lack of snakes to hiss in his ear, and my warhorse forgets his training. Press gang leader. Beggars infest the old city, worse than rats, and rats don't beg for gold. Let the vermin fight for the king, I say. Let them be arrow fodder. Talk to vagrant. Cruel times are these when old men are made to fight and die. Oh, there's another. He'll do nicely. Watch yourself, villain, or you'll be marching north in the king's army. That's our job, you see. We earn a handsome bounty finding soldiers for his majesty. What's a press gang? Is it a thing? Farewell. Let's go down here then. Oops. You've got an exclamation mark. Durgan the sailor. What am I going to do? The captain says we must leave Lenale, but I will not get in the boat without my lucky charms. Your lucky charm? An earring given to me by a spirit on the Sea of Kadim. I lost it in a game of chance with a gambler named Ivas. Or Ivas. If you get it back for me, I'll reward you. Okay, we've got a quest. They hit you over the head and you wake up on a boat in the Royal Navy. It was a real thing. The press gang. So fascinating. Group of paid enforcers who force people to join the military. So they literally press it upon you. Is that where it comes from? Check you two out. I picked the best moderators, clearly. Moderating my illiteracy, I guess. I was going to look at the quest. So, oh, we've got 3. Find Yargo, the vagabond who taught you how to use your summoning power. After the destruction of Saran 9 years ago, Yargo said to find him in Lenale if you ever needed him. Durgan's lucky charm. He needs his lucky charm, an earring he acquired from the spirit on the Sea of Kadim. He lost it in a game of chance with a gambler named Ivas. Find the earring and bring it to Durgan, near the docks of Lenale. Okay. I'm feeling overwhelmed already, but we'll keep going. So that's the press gang. Oh, mighty lord of manure, I bid you welcome. He's the sewer cleaner. Here you'll find the architectural marvel of all ages, the catacombs of muck, the royal depository, the glorious sewers of Lenale. Righto. Wool merchant. Was an actual recruitment system. Have you heard of it too? What kind of time period did that finish then? Is that like Is that medieval, or did that continue until like probably what, Victorian times? Do you know? La hurrah, take these lords. Every bridge and port demands its share. They'll bleed us dry with their tolls, and now I have to pay again. No, it went on. Oh god. What, into like World War era? The war cannot wait for a laggard ship. Oh, we've read you. About your fishing bones. Found a healing drow. 18th century, probably mid-Victorian. I could imagine the Victorian era still doing it a little bit. Oh, mighty lord. Goodbye. We've talked to you. Oh, there's a little rat. Look at the details in this game. It was definitely... It was just a leap from the PlayStation 1, I think. Even though it didn't look like amazing. It looked kind of rough around the edges, but just technically doing a lot. I'm sure that PC gamers were already enjoying this sort of thing, but like, what was an endgame PS1 era RPG? Like Final Fantasy? Everything was still sort of pre-rendered, mostly. This is fully 3D, except for that hideous background drop. Oh, the frame rate just suddenly kicked up into 30 FPS. And it's crashed again. Nothing here though. Okay. Oh, high would probably be quite useful. I just feel like it's more cinematic. I have work to do, farmer. There's errands to run at markets, stew to cook, beds to make, and chamber pots to empty. I mean, I'm not a PC gamer. Anybody that is a PC gamer, I'm sure that you were enjoying games like this earlier than here. Probably, what, 98 or something, some Ultima. Did Ultima go 3D in the end? I don't remember. I never played any of them. I'd kind of like to. Oh, there's one on the Mega Drive though, isn't there? Orenia is a beautiful kingdom far away across Kadim. Many strange and marvellous things are found in that enchanted realm. Their language is like music. I have what we know. Oh. The Lord of Rad's been raiding the Rennies all along the East Bank. How many days until they reach Leneley? The only thing I would say that's lacking, hard to say, they might come around and hit us from the south. Also, this sort of like passive conversation is cool too. The only thing that I think is missing, there's a lack of like sound. Do you know what I mean? There's lovely music, but like there's no... I almost want some hustle and bustle sound effects. Feels like everything's very mute except for my footsteps. What am I to do? I've got an empty hold, an empty belly, and an empty purse. If I sail north, I'll be hacked to pieces. If I say south, I'll starve. I kind of wish there was some like ambient crowd sounds. News from the north is mighty grim, lad. Word is they've sacked Masad, Eglin, and Burnen. They burn them. If the Rennies want to tussle, let them come to Leneley. The music's gorgeous. We were saying earlier though, are you familiar with the Legacy of Kain series, Tin Sarah? It totally reminds me of that, but it's not the same person. Orenia is a beautiful kingdom far away across the Kadim. Oh, we talked to you. The language sounds like music. Oh, I wager Reek's pay. The Rennie's got her 3 days and no word. I love her. I'll take that wager. Tolem's the best captain on the Dahoo. His face is really clean too. Do you hear? Oh yeah, if anybody that's just sort of joined, Faye Victus, suffer in the conquer. Because I'm playing this in, this is a PAL version, but on a Japanese television and I guess modern technology. This is actually running at 50 Hertz. Oh, well, maybe. But that means that the top and the bottom of the screen, you can see the text box, it's being cropped off. There's like a centimetre missing from the top and the bottom. It doesn't seem to be too much of a deal breaker though, but yeah, it is cutting a tiny bit of the screen off. Do you hear them boast in the marketplace? War is good for business. Aye, war's good for business if you make swords, pikes and shields, but why should the rest of us suffer? Because you can see here too, where it says at the bottom, restore HPs to target, there should be a little bit of screen underneath that. The colour looks great. I've sort of cranked the colour up. It looks like it does on my TV though, but I did that to counter-attack that it looked quite dark. I think it looks alright though. With the Rennies holding the Dahu north Masid. What is the Dahu? Is it a ship? Our merchants will have a grim season. Maybe it's their biggest ship or something. Interesting. Emperor Murad's cruelty knows no bounds, but why must there be such hatred in Lenale? These Oranians have done nothing wrong. It's the Emperor who's to blame. That's a hot take. Tell that to all those dead people in that village. What are you looking at, ploughboy? Shiv your heart out if you don't moke off. Push off, mate. Stay away from here. Yeah, move along now, kafug. If you know what's good for you. You fucking what, mate? What a mouth on that one, kafug. If I had a ship full of salt, grain, iron and leather, I'd be a rich man. With Rennies marching on Lenale, materials are scarce. Where's that lady running? Don't do it! Madam! Oh, she's a good wife. Not very friendly. No, they're not. They're not chummers, are they? These Rennies are fools to defile the soil of Mediva. Our sons will be home before the next moon, I wager. Oh, she's waiting for her sons. Oh. I feel like a lot of this just washed over me as a kid though. I don't remember all this sort of like personality and detail. I don't know how it comes off as a stream, but I'm having a blast going around and talking to the people. It's definitely flavourful. If I were Emperor of Aurenia, I'd not send an army to find a single boy. Might as well cast a guna net to catch a sparrowfish. A little squirmer would swim right through. What would you send then? All I know is winter's coming. Commoner, if they're burning villagers, what would they want with him? Can't imagine being able to follow some of this dialogue. No, I think a lot of it. I read it because when I was a kid, that's the same as now as an adult. I would do this. I would go around and talk to everybody, but I feel like a lot of it, I'd be like, I don't even know what that means. All this talk of emperors and kings, and what concern is that for a fisherman? If we don't catch enough before the Dahu freezes over, we'll philosophise on an empty stomach. I think I found it hard to visualise because the enemy presence is explained very well, I think, to an adult, but when I was younger, I think I found it kind of hard to visualise who was the enemy, and because you don't see the emperor. And it's not until like the second half of the game where I started to understand like the neighbouring country and the geography. It didn't make a lot of sense just from dialogue. Somebody think of the Dahu, exactly. A lot of text I read as a kid, I've skipped it or didn't get it. Going back now, some of the text in this era surprised me. Yeah, this one is pretty good. With my little bow, I'll sail up north and fight the Rennies. One volley from their cannons, you'd be food for the Arvu fish. Every man must do his part. I'm old, but my sons are strong. Sensible fishermen. War is foolish business. It breeds foolish talk. Listen to these fishermen who mistake their boats for war galleys. Deluded with bard songs and ale they are. Not like me, sensible fishermen. Who are you? The braggart fisherman. Aye, the fishermen of Lenale would make a brave flotilla. That is, if they weren't so busy mending their nets, patching their boats, and moaning about their catch. I was thinking that as I watched you play from Mission 3. Oh my god, yeah, games like that too. Ooh, hello. If I remember as well though, there's quite a lot of side quests like this that you do find. The only side quest that's coming back to me right now, I think we'll be coming up to, but I vaguely remember like we have to do some sort of like trading in the marketplace with that Earl person that was walking around. The sequel's a sensible soccer. A miserable sequel. Drago has a clever plan. Clever plan? It's a secret. I promised I wouldn't tell. She's riveting, isn't she? Where is he then? Is that you? Arms merchant. Arms for the poor. If you're looking for a blade, don't you move a bloody inch, kafug. I got what you need right here. Whoa! Had to load the menu, so it ended up double pressing. Don't want to buy that though. How much have I got? We could have had a 400 gold right now. If I hadn't accidentally drank that bloody, what was it, Liberian. Barley Bap, the illicit tax. Oh my god, forgot how I was leading rated that was. I thought it was pretty standard tea. Is that something racy and front mission? I'm gonna buy those at some point. I've been eyeing them up. You've convinced me to give front mission a go. Mario RPG has some jokes that went over my head as a kid. I need to play that one too. Although I bet the jokes probably aren't quite the same. We've got a falchion. That's a sword. Can we have info? I don't want to buy it. I can't afford it anyway, can I? Why is it? Is it just because I can equip it? Damage 32. We have 35. The piercing weapon inflicts small amounts of damage upon foes and can be wielded like a dagger. Okay. Or we could have a quarterstaff. Staff causes small amounts of damage. Maybe I did use the staff a bit when I was a kid. Oh, there's the short sword. Isn't that what we've got on right now? So... Wait, is a higher speed stat better? Or worse? Because why would you want this? It's lower damage and a higher speed stat. I thought speed might have because why does my equipment, my chest piece, have a speed stat of 1? Surely... Or does it increase my speed too? I wish I had the manual with me. This two-handed sword inflicts moderate damage. See, that's got... Oh, I guess this would be slow though, the bastard sword, right? So that's why it's 0.6. I think I want to get that. I think I'd like a little bit faster, but not less damage. 1 point... Yeah. We'll wait though. Can we say... not save. Can we sell stuff? Let's sell these... They're not worth much, are they? Whatever. Oh, he only will buy items, weapons. I guess it's like Skyrim. Why is she exclamation-y? Or is it for a later quest? It's a secret. The whole game was ahead of its time. Should sit down and play it properly. I watched my brother play the whole thing when I was very cozy, but have forgotten now. You know when you say wee brother, do you mean like younger brother? Because obviously I know Scotland and I know the whole wee thing, but I didn't know you used it to refer to age. I always thought it literally meant like physically small. Like a wee lad. Well, I guess it would, yeah, we're a young lad. Use it for that too. I mean, I know it just for that situation, but little. I guess little is the same, isn't it? How will I leave Leneley? Where will I go? They burned down Jinyan's house, and I fear mine will be next. Oh! Yes, this game is deep. Yes, he's Iranian. There's like kind of racism in this game, I think. They burnt down Jinyan's, because like Irania is essentially, I mean, you can almost see it in the name, it's basically coming off the word Oriental, isn't it? But it's basically sort of like a fantasy Asian sort of area, like mostly Chinese, I think, because there's a lot of jade symbolism in this, if I recall. I fear mine will be next. So it's sort of like a West versus Asia kind of thing, but it's more like just I think it's an evil leader rather than an actual people. Salutations, traveller, and welcome to Leneley. You'll find all you desire within these city walls. grizzled soldier. The Rennies are a vicious horde. Their swords are sharper and faster than any blade this side of the Kadim, and their cannons are dragons of brass. Who's that little girl? Rennies speak the tongue of spiders. Their blood flows black and vile. Said no child ever. Farmer, when I bring my gleanings up to Leneley, how many tariffs must I pay? Every lord wants his bushel of grain. What's a bushel? When I read books, I always like to look things up in the dictionary. I shan't bore you by doing it on stream, but I curse that sun for moving so slow. There's the is that gallows? Oh no, it's fishing. Maybe it's multi-purpose. I've got my honest trade right here, though I gamble away half my earnings. It's still an honest trade. No king's going to put a sword in my hand and make me fight the Rennies. A measure of capacity equal to 64 US pints, used for dry goods. Rolling off the tongue, right, Chrono Gear? Absolutely not Google. I guess it is for fish. Bushel. I'm already lost with who we've talked to and who we haven't. What am I to do? I've got an empty hold, an empty belly, an empty purse. If I say, oh, we've talked to you. I think we've talked to all these people, right? Sewer cleaner, yeah, praise be. Let's have a look at this whopping fish. Look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous rendering of this fish. One bushel, two bushel. That's quite the bushel. You can just get absolutely lost in this game, though. I remember, I'm feeling it now. Plastic fish toys as a kid. I'm feeling it now, but like when I just come off the PlayStation and I remember putting this on, it just blew my mind. There's nothing in war for us but money and plunder. And if we can't plunder from the enemy, we'll plunder from the villagers. Burn their houses and steal their pigs. I guess I wonder if I'd played Skies of Arcadia at this point. The size of... Farleypap though. You know, you say the size of this is ridiculous. But you know, we've not actually gone into the city yet. It's just the outside. I have work to do, farmer. There's errands to run. Market, stew to cook, beds to make, and chamber pots to empty. I think we've talked to you. Yeah, we're not in. This is literally just the port. Apprentice, leave me alone, ploughman. I have errands to run for my master. If I'm late, he'll kick and starve me until I'm dead. Oh, he's off. I just want to check as well, though. That there is more people though. This way you get crazy Ivan. I'm sure that there's a quest about a necklace. That's all I remember. Arg burful durple there, stedum rodobidoo. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. It's in burbat joked reviem oxcart. It's in the bat joke ter reviem oxcart. Is it in burbat joke reviem oxcart? I'm trying to decode what he's saying. He's obviously like got no teeth or something, right? In the inner part. Lolo, and Rema treasure total in we 40 drinkable. Are you speaking some other language? A poor folk with the havoy a chudu. I think one of us is crazy. Big delicious. I'm hoping it's you. Bird in Ulu too. You're not supposed to read this out loud, I swear. It's been nice talking to you. Mishkish fish. Quest journal updated. Oh. I'm using Big Delicious. Oh my god. Big Delicious needs to become a part of my life. Let's talk to Basim. Don't bother talking to Crazy Ivan. No one ever understands him. I've just had the oddest talk. Ivan's been that way ever since he wandered into the woods drunk one night. Oh, bless him. Questional. Crazy Ivan. Near the Lelele docks, you met Crazy Ivan, who speaks only in gibberish. Well, the only thing that I understood is there's something that we can find in a horse's cart. Belon. That Big Delicious 100% McDonald's special. Or an OnlyFans page. I'm sure Chooby-Doo is a Wookiee cat. Chooby-Doo. Use that in Big Doo-Doo this time. Greetings, adventurer. Are you interested in a task for which you'll be well rewarded? No. I love their square heads, and they do look like Perhaps, tell me more. I have a bag of magical seeds that must be delivered to the stronghold of the Kasani. Who are the Kasani? I'm suddenly feeling like Dragon Age. What's the race of people in Dragon Age? Especially Dragon Age 2. The Kirani, no? You run out of made-up words eventually, though, don't you? The Kunari, that's it, not the Kasani. Magical seeds. The seeds of Ahu. They are called. They will sprout anywhere, even on solid rock. What do I have to do? Take this bag to one they call Ilar. You will find him in the stronghold of Sarnavar. Can't with these names. I just feel like such a twat. What is the reward? Ilar will pay you 2,000 gold for the safe delivery of the seeds. Will you do this? No. It is so tempting. Yes. I am much obliged. Here are the seeds. Ilar is well known, so you will have no problem finding him. I've already forgotten his name. Seeds of Ahu. Love the seeds of Ahu. Do you say that in America at all? Do you say like... Probably don't actually, I can't even explain. It's like hour, but like we'll say... Like say I don't know, someone in your family is called Sarah, you'll be like, oh, you seen our Sarah? That's certainly my accent from my hometown. Stay away from the sewer cleaners. Those drunkards dump their filth where we draw our water. We're the lifeblood of Leneley, farmer, and all the city sings our praises. Okay, probably not so much. See an our barley bat? Come round our house. Buy your fish here, ploughman. Brave Captain Tollum wrestled the legions of Amasido so that you might have a tasty dinner. Big Delicious. Love when English people say that, so cute. I don't even think it's all of the UK. How about you, Van Terrace? I think it's a bit of a regional thing too, and it's also obviously a certain class of people as well. Because like in my hometown, there's a part of my hometown, like one of the nearby towns, where people will say that, and then other places they won't. Yeah, not really. Yeah, but you're more southern there, aren't you? Bit posh. Stay away from the sewer. Oh, we're talking to you. See, where I'm from, people are like, hey, I've actually got right in front of me, I've got like a placemat that's like, I'm from Nottingham. Someone got me for a present once, and we say like, hey up me duck. I don't envy your lot in life, ploughman. Chlorine for that. Have we talked to you? I think we have. I think we've talked to most people now. You're a musician. I can sing for you, the maiden of the river, the hound of Grahan, and the squire's laughing dog. We've played at all the fine inns and taverns. The captain says these crates won't move themselves, but if we wait here long enough, they just might. It'll not break my back for a sodding pid like him. Oh, I'll not break my back. For a sodding pid. What a pid. I think we talked to you. We talked to you. I'm more just looking for pink exclamation marks, to be honest. We can see from the map, yeah. Can you see that's all the area that we've done? Oh, do we dare go into the actual town now? I think we've found everybody. You just gotta check for those pink exclamation marks because they're often quests. Who are you, sewer cleaner? Don't see anybody. Who's that? Good wife. War and strife are never ending. As long as there's blood to spill, all will fight their wars. Glory and land, titles and damosels, that's all our sons dream of. I'm glad I took the time to talk to her. Oh, we've not talked. Here we go. There's a really famous Scots comic here called Woolly. William. So I guess maybe it was a thing here too that fell out of fashion. Probably, yeah. Thinking about them damosels in distress. Talk to the trader. Welcome to Leneley, travellers. Have you come to trade? Oh shit. You think it's not skip the text box, but it's actually just loading the menu and I've ended up pressing twice. Buckler. I think I want this buckler. This small shield confers very little protection against, yeah, but it's better than nothing, isn't it? Recovery draft. Drought. Driven's brew. Who's a Driven? This potion grants its drinker the ability to inflict extra damage. Citrine. An uncommon yellow gemstone of good quality. Amethyst. A common purple gemstone of average quality. Oh, we can't equip the buckler? Well, we need heavy arms 1. Fine, can we sell? Recovery tonic, health tonic. Ooh. Perhaps I shouldn't have... Was that moderate damage? I think maybe we should sell that for now. We don't need it. Wish I hadn't sold the other one. That's a lot of money. For so early on in the game, perhaps. Revives, I'll keep those. Right. Why is she... Oh, they're exclamation marks because they're vendors and that's important. I guess they sort of made the game so that if you can't be asked to talk to anybody, you don't have to. You can just look for the exclamations, but you'd be missing out on this great conversation. I have here the tastiest fish in all of Mediver, smoked and salted to last you the winter. Exactly. Made the game. Talk to the great... Oh, I remember this name. Ragnelli. Oh, we're going round. Greetings, adventurer. I have a task for a brave warrior such as yourself. What is the task? There have been some trouble with the band of robbers in the grasslands near Leneley. I read that wrong. There has been some trouble with a band of robbers in the grassland near Leneley. What about the robbers? Give up. My star performance has just gone in the bin. Evildoers who waylay my caravans, leeching off my profits. They're a scourge on all law-abiding folk. Why your caravans? Mine are the richest in all Leneley, laden with exotic spices from the Galadians. These thefts must end. What do you want me to do? Find and vanquish these villains. Bring me the bow of Zane, their leader, and I will reward you richly. What's so special about his bow? It's a weapon of no particular value, except as proof that you've defeated the robbers. Question updated. Okay, we got a quest. Where is it? Near the Leneley docks, the great Ragnelli hired you to get rid of the band of robbers that have attacked the caravans. He requires the leader's bow as proof that you've completed the task. Zane can be found in the grasslands near Leneley. Let's talk to the rat catcher. If only the plague would return. Now that was the golden age of rat catching, friend. Aye, the streets were black with vermin and we live like kings. I would rather it didn't return. I'm almost tempted to go bop that Zane on the head right now. Keep out of trouble, farmer. We have problems enough without the ploughman running riot. But I feel like, I don't know, is it wise? Because there's a character that we're going to meet eventually. Would we be better off doing it when she's around? Maybe you get the experience. Ah, if only the plague would return. Oh, we talked to you. Get out of the way. What's your business in Lenley Villain? If you've come to buy or sell, you'll find either a market right through this gate. I don't know. Should we go kill Zane or should we go into the city? Oh, we talked to you. Is that good wife again? What do you reckon? Zane or city? I'm going to save as well though. Oops. Not sure where Zane is though. The clock being wrong is really pissing me off. Grasslands near Leneley. Or should we go in? Do the side quests. Could do it to break up the waffle that I've just been doing before we go into the city. The city's huge. Oh, there's a lot of people here. There's no glory in the siege, ploughman. No honour hiding behind the wards. Let us fight on the open fields and we'll sing of victory. Oh, I always do side quests before main story. 20,000 knights will ride their chargers across the Medivh plain. Aye, we'll sing of their deeds forever. Whoops, aye, and something. Who are these people? I've just missed a little dynamic scene, I think. Whatever. Let's see if we can find Zane. I don't know quite how it works. Is it going to be the first encounter we see? I sort of hope so. Oh, now there's dynamic sounds. Encounter. Will it be Zane? Crap. This ain't Zane. This is the undead. The bone servants. No. Oh, sugar lumps. Wow. I think that did a lot of damage. Oh, we gotta move as well. Oh, I think we're gonna die. Ah! Good God. King Zane. Ah! Oh, there's the two-headed skeletons. Absolutely wrecked. Running away. I just want to fight the grasslands near town. I mean, it all looks the same to me. What encounter will this be? Maybe not a great idea yet. If it turns up, it'll be alright. Oh God, this isn't it either. Although this is the grasslands, but I think we just need an encounter that's got humans. I mean, these are fine, but this is not what we're looking for. I didn't realise it was going to be so much sort of RNG. You get a party in this. Oh, we do. But not for a while, I think. We'll get the second characters in the town, though. I do remember that. I don't remember where we get the third and fourth character. not in the town, I don't think. I'll try one more. If not, we'll just go back in the town. I don't think there's actually like that many locations in this game. They're just the ones that exist are just huge. But I don't think the world map I think is actually quite desolate, if I recall. Oh, here we go. Right, let's save because I could get my ass kicked in. In fact, actually, this quest might have been a bad idea. I might not be strong enough for this. Because just me and a whole gang of people all at once. Because they're all going to attack me, aren't they? Talk to Zane. I've had a word of you, stranger. You've been sent by that spice merchant, haven't you? No. Your lies lessen you. You were seen with him. Defend yourself, liar. Bugger. I thought if I managed to just wiggle over here, perhaps we can just take them one by one. Bam. Perhaps shouldn't fight on the slope though. How much damage is it doing? Oh, let's get off the slope. Just you and him. Oops. I've got too much health for the desperation attack though. Oh, I don't want to press that. I wonder if there's a thing with this one, like, because we're going to get a bow. I wonder if it's one of those choice quests where you can, like, choose to just sell it. I think I'm doing this a tad early. Oh, we got him. Zane's bow. Only 10 GP. A bow belonging to Zane, leader of the band of robbers. There we go. Right, well, I do want to sort of kill a couple of these guys as I go. I don't want to fight them all. Come on then. I wonder if they'll be a bit easier. God. It's a bit of a slog at the start, because later on we'll get like fire spells and all this stuff that you can do. Oops. How much health have you got? I don't think I'm gonna fight the other ones. How close are we to leveling up as well? Oh, not much. The problem though, I think, is just the accuracy is very low. The enemy keeps dodging my attacks. Bloody hell. I don't know whether to fight one more, because it might make the, if I level up once, maybe it'll make the difference. Then I could kill the others. Come on. Is there a ramp? Because maybe if I bring him to a slope, I can get the advantage bonus. Bring him down there, idiot. There we go. Always put slow on me. That's better. Whoops. Because it's a bit like, you know, like the tactics games that you've been playing, like Final Fantasy Tactics and stuff. You get damage boosts from attacking from the sides and also from above. Obviously I can't really attack from the sides when there's nobody to fight. Why did I not level up? I thought I'd be done by now. Oh, 6 experience. Fucking miserable. Let's use the spell. You've been playing Vagrant Story as well, haven't you, actually, Tin Sarah? Barley Bat was commenting about the magic. It sounded like that. But also the whole, like, sort of, the idea of the chain combo system reminds me of Vagrant Story too. I just want one of you. Come on. Oh, not you! Bloody hell. Oh shit, they're both coming. Fucker. Bring him here. It will make my desperation attack more powerful though, the lower my health is. Actually, the spell sounded like Morrowind here. Really? Techie Rob was saying that some of the character designs look like Morrowind. Let's use one. Oh yeah! Sounds like Skyrim. At the end. It's probably just a stock sound effect. Am I gonna win? Oh, he's nearly gone, I guess. I wish I could. I can't tell when I'm going to attack. There we go. Joseph learned chain stamina attack. Oh yeah, because the more we use them, the more we'll learn. What does that do? Damage with the amount of AP left. Oh, that one's quite good. More AP I have, the more damage it does. Let's get rid of confusion for now. The chains and the uber dodge enemies. You probably enjoy this if you like Vagrant Story in a way, maybe. Yeah, look at that. Is he nearly gone? Too fast. Oh, you really need to die. I'm not gonna risk it. 'Cause we should be able to level up.
I grow powerful.
Oh, there we go. And that maybe. Oh, we've learnt magic. Holy. Higher level holy spells. What's holy? Bless. Target takes less physical damage. Howdy. Hey, Quantum. How's it going? Oh, we got 3 skill points now. Let's get some... I don't know. What will holy give me? I'd kind of like to know before I dump it. Increases the chance to hit. I think I need more of that. Holy and more heal. I wish I could see what spells it's going to give me or not. We'll go for dodge. Guess what Nightbot chose for us yesterday? What were the what was the what were you going for? What did you choose yesterday? Was that campaign mode? Entire list of failed games. Great Gianni Sisters? I assume it's mine. Oh, look how much we're doing now. The difference one level on this game makes is just beautiful. Yeah, look, he's fucking wrecked. What else have I got? Oh, I can cast Regenerate. I forgot about this. Heals you over time. Great. Great. The game gets better the more you play. You just need to unlock stuff first. Hellfire again. I saw you playing it actually. You know, I said that I was actually going when I went, but I actually left you on my phone playing for quite a while. My ears were burning a lot. I kept hearing you saying stuff about how you wish you were as good as me. How far did you get in the end? Oh, come on. Just the accuracy is miserable at the minute. I'm also, and it's no complaint, but I don't know about other people, but like rhythm games, like I'm trying to do combos and speaking, I don't think my brain's very good at that. Like trying to talk about something while I'm like tapping to the timing, it's not going very well. So I think but I'd rather play like shit and talk more than talk less and play well. So, but it does make everything drag. I can't be arsed. See you later, sunshine. Let's go. We've done the oh, he's having us. He's having us. Whoops. He'll regret it. Oh. Happy hellfiring. I did make a little bit of progress on level 4, but that's about it. So the boss on level 4 on the Japanese version of the Mega Drive, you can actually just blast a bomb shot into him because he's got multiple targets. And you can one-shot him. But on the Western version, they increased his health, I think, so it doesn't work. And the arcade version doesn't even have the bomb shot. So good luck with that, because he's a bitch. It's going to get very frustrating. I don't know about the arcade one because I haven't played it. It seems quite similar to what I've seen. The only thing I could notice is it looked like stuff was shooting faster than the Mega Drive version. Perhaps it's the equivalent of Mega Drive Hard. I'm not sure. Oh, just go in the bin. Look at that combo, but we've like ran out of AP now. What's this then? This is Summoner. It was a launch title for the PlayStation 2. And I was doing some cleaning. I was talking to Barley Bat last night, basically on Discord. We were just talking about games, because we've been playing some kind of Japanese games off Twitch and chatting about them. And I was thinking, what else would be fun to play? And I was looking for a game called Ephemeral Fantasia, I think it's called. And I suddenly, because I suddenly remembered, oh, I actually have that. So then today I was getting it out to clean the disc because I've been keeping them in these CD holder case things, and they've been in there for years, and they've got like a mesh protector between the CDs, but I think with the humidity here and time, it's the fabric is sort of kind of like, what's the word? Can't think of the word. Like decomposed a little bit, like onto the CD. It's kind of, ugh. I managed to get some of it on, like, it's sort of like had a reaction, maybe oxidized onto it or something. So that's annoying. So I was trying to rescue some of my CDs. So I was going through my CD cases, and then I saw the Summoner 1 and the Summoner 2, and I was like, oh, I forgot I had these, because most of my PAL PlayStation games are actually in the UK. Because I can't use them. Well, I couldn't use them because of the 50 Hertz malarkey. But when I started streaming, I bought a HDMI cable for my PlayStation 2 just to stream. And then, I don't know why I decided to, but I just decided... Oh, I think I was going to play Oogie's Revenge for Halloween, and that supports 60 Hertz. So I thought, well, if I can just boot it up and I'll toggle the 60 Hertz mode and then I'll stream it. But when I had the cable plugged in, the PlayStation menu booted up and you could see it, and I was like, oh, but this is not 60 Hertz. So then I just tested out some games that don't support 60 Hertz, and they all worked with the HDMI cable. So it's sort of like changed the signal, I guess. And I thought, oh, so now because I saw these again, I was like, oh, I want to play them, because the reason I bought them to Japan with me in the first place was to play them, because I like the games and I haven't played them for so long. So here we are. It's a long story, but yeah, I haven't played this game for about 20 years. It's definitely been a memory lane trip. The sequel, though, I never finished. I think I only played about a quarter of it, a fifth of it. And then the reason I never finished the sequel is because do you remember the fat model PlayStation 2s or just whatever? The Summoner 2 was a game that I bought around the time when my PlayStation started giving me discrete error all the time, and I just couldn't play it. Like, I could sometimes occasionally get it to load, but most of the time it was just discrete error. So I just gave up with it and lost interest and started playing GameCube. And then by the time I think I got my PlayStation fixed again, like, that ship had just sailed and I'd moved on. Loved it though, but I couldn't play it. But now I can, 20 years later. Don't even know of it, but that's not hard. But this was like, I think the only people that probably played this game were people that had early PlayStation 2s, because there wasn't much choice. My brother got a PlayStation 2 pretty early, I think, and he bought this game. He actually didn't play it. I played it. But this was the only role-playing game on the PlayStation 2 for a little while, and then Dark Cloud came out. So you didn't have a lot of choice if you wanted to play an RPG. It was this, and that was it. Oh, and Ephemeral Fantasia, or whatever it's called. Which got crap reviews, whereas this one got, like, kind of okay reviews. Well met, friend. Have you defeated the robber band? Yes. Splendid. Now my caravans can set forth without fear. I'll take that bow. Here is your reward. 500 XP. Oh, maybe I should wait until I get other characters. Party received 10 gold. Question updated. Woohoo. We'll wait now, I think. Oh, he's still yapping though. You were late to the PS2 table, and even then, only really played a few because was going through a phase. Well, you also did play Sega Net, though, didn't you? You're like the only person I've ever heard of in the UK that played Sega Net. I have no time for you today. Oh, that wasn't me. I was reading the NPC, by the way. I always have time for you. Excuse me, but you're forgetting a noted FromSoft masterpiece, Eternal... That got slammed. I remember that. I remember looking at it and going, ooh. And I think the magazines were like literally putting their hand on my shoulder and going, no, it's not for you. Right, are we ready? Are we going in? I'm gonna, do I need to save? No, we're going into the city. I'm probably not gonna stream for too much longer, but we'll have a peek. The next time I play this game, it will be a city stream. Phantasmagoria 2 is still on the table. Maybe eventually. Maybe. Maybe we could do it for Christmas. The reason I didn't jump onto Phantasmagoria 2 is because it's got nudity in it, I think. And I was just like, I don't know how acceptable this is on Twitch. You should stream Phantasmagoria 2, Tin Sarah. The longest load screen of my life. Just want a sip of my drink. I saw someone playing Phantasmagoria 2 a couple of days ago. I think people do stream it, so I don't think it matters that much. Feels like it'd be done. Phantasmagoria 2, I think, actually has boobies. So, don't know. But, like, I don't know. I'm flagged as, like, mature audiences only. I just think, like, don't be a nanny state. There are worse things online than a bit of boobs on Twitch, in the context of like a game, and the streamer has flagged it as not for people under the age of 18. You know, there's a Google away. He got what he deserved, fuck what he wants. Oh my god, that just took a turn, didn't it? That game. Why should we not take pleasure in life? 10,000 screaming rennies wait up north to disembowel us. All the bards will sing of valor while our mothers cry a salty river. Oh my god, there's more marketplace? I thought the city was behind the fucking gates. Oh my lord, we're not even inside the city yet. We're still not in the city. These charlatans will tell you mud and call it gold. If a man tries to sell you a lock of the owner's hair, he's out to rob you blind. Give you a fat what? Ruffian. Who's talking? Where are you? I want to see. The camera's locked. Hello there, boy. I can't talk to you. I'll vanquish the Rennies with my stick, you mark my words. Bart will write songs about me and I'll win the hand of a rich damozel. Does damsel always have an O in it? Is it ye oldie damozel? Scabbard maker. These traders and their prices, the mines of Mevari are overrun with basites, I'll say. Or the Furilosi raise their tariffs, or a fire swept through the market of Verusa. I don't think these are real words, I think you've just made it up. Right now. It's fancy for young lady, it means young girl. Had to Google it. But what's the difference between a damozel and a damsel? Other than the owl. A young unmarried woman. Damoiselle, damozel, damsel, damo. Maybe it's just a different spelling, I guess. Especially a virgin. Wow. A lucky soldier gets paid twice. Save the skin of the Duke's nephew and you'll come home with land to your name. I can't seem to change the camera here though. Someday I'll be a master, I'll join the guild and run the old man out of business. I'll be the best craftsman ever to bear the seal, and I'll treat my apprentices with kindness. Like Mademoiselle. There are different levels of distress. Oh dear. 2 oxen, 3 calves, 70 chickens, 10 geese, and oats to feed 100 horses. Oh, he's his palace servants. Perhaps I should have spoke a bit nicer. I only have potatoes, turnips, and radishes, says the farmer. My master is Sir Uther, butler to his majesty. King will be sorely disappointed. Forgive me, I'm a loyal subject, but I cannot have what I do not have. Cannot sell. He's not wrong. Because you hail from the village, the city dwellers will think you're ignorant, ploughman, cotter, and villain. What is villain as well? Where has that come from? I mean, ploughman is obviously because we're a farmer. Cotar, cotter, villain. They'll call you as if there's dishonour in working in the land. Like a serf, lowest of the low. A lucky soldier. Oh, talked to you twice. Hello there, Aurenian. The king offers no protection. The city guard does nothing but watch while mobs beat us and burn our houses to the ground. As much as the Medivans hate the emperor, we hate him more. The camera's really pissing me off in this area. Just zoom out. I can't see. I want it to go down. I want the low view, but it seems to be auto-locked for some reason. Because you hail from... Oh, we've talked to you. Oh, exclamation marks. Seamstress. The merchants are all out of salt, they say. They're all out of iron and leather. Then they hoard and sell to Tancred. 3 coins to 1. Lahara starve their children. Wow. Don't fuck her off. Gimardi trader. Can I interest you in an elixir, a piltre, or a libation? I've had my share of libations tonight. Perhaps. Oh, maybe we can read what it does now. She hasn't even got any libations, bloody liar. She's got a Driven's brew, though. Swordsman's ring. This ring boosts the wearer's... Oh, yeah, so you can do that. You can boost your sword that way, so maybe you should only take him to level 9 and then wear that ring for a bit. Oh, I'm not talking to that young soldier. I've talked to him twice. Time is money. Talk to Taylor. Why is there a baby crying? Did you hear that? They all carry on as if the merchants were to blame for the shortage of goods. Accuse us of hoarding, they do. Think we're driving up the price, as if only that were true. Right. If that water carrier does not hurry with his pail and ladle, I'll have to go down to the well and draw the water myself. Who's playing Yoshi's Island? Oh dear. 10 seconds. I always felt like, I guess he's not, but when I was younger, I always felt like a lot of people were walking around with no like top half on. Like, you're meant to be the other side of the counter, but it doesn't quite work sometimes. It doesn't seem to be quite talking. Look, she's not either. All our friends have turned against us. They call us cruel names and threaten to kill us if we don't leave. Why? Because we are Iranian. Has he got like kanji on the back? I can't see because of the camera. Maybe talk to this lady. Oh, it looks like he's got an umbrella on his back. The musicians in my employ are the greatest jonglers since Alcuin last strummed a lute. They know all your favourites, even the devil and the smiling dog. I love that song. Seriously, has he got the kanji for umbrella on his back? No, it looks like cow with a roof over its head. Maybe. Can't even read. I don't think it's a real thing. See, I'm not sure. See, it's not working from this. Oh no, it is, but it makes me go round. Oh, we're talking to him again. No. Right. Oh, this city is enormous. Oh, there's also that horse cart that the crazy man was talking about that we should perhaps be on the lookout for. Forgive me, your worship, but I must beg your leave. I have to fetch sweetmeats, pies, and lampreys. Why am I your worship? Hello there, youth. Someday I'll be. Oh, I've talked to you. Who's this lady, and where's she going? Midwife. These young men marching off to war, I helped bring them into this world. If they only knew how their mothers suffered to give them life, they'd not rush so quickly towards death. I like her face. She's one of the more sort of pleasing looking people so far. Homely. And that's the exit. Bum 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 bum. Well, we'll stick to here for now. There's the sewers though, and that's sort of the first dungeon, isn't it? Somewhere down here. Where? The other thing you might notice, it must be to do with the PAL conversion, but can you see there's like a slight white... Is it coming through on stream? Or maybe it's slightly cut off. There's like a white light on the left-hand side. I think you can see. Let me just see. Yeah, just next to my PS2 logo, there's like a slight white line. Don't know what that is. Just a tiny one. Like an overscan or something. Oh. Nope. Oh my gosh, look at the state of this. I did use... The water doesn't look as good as I remember, but when I was younger I used to think this water was just out of this world. Oh. Can't select anything, can I? This grate is locked. I can't get in. Bugger. I'm going to walk all the way back now. Yeah, what I remember the sequel of this, I think there's towns in it. I don't quite remember so much, but it was a lot more like, you know, like an action game where you're sort of navigating through a terrain, an area, like a... I remember you start off on an island and you walk through, and the combat's like real time, like you press square to attack and you hold R1 to guard, but it still uses numbers like an RPG. It was quite fun. You get combos and stuff, and you can use skills. When I was younger, I definitely thought the sequel was better in terms of fun, but I don't know now. Job of the soldier is to die, whether under a charge of horses or a volley of arrows. All our bodies will feed the crops in the spring. Delightful. That foolish son of mine thinks he'll find glory on the battlefield. The Rennies will send him home without his head. We came to Leneley to escape the Emperor's tyranny, but now our friends have turned against us. In the north, villages are burning, and they point the blame at us. I've heard these mountebanks... What? I've heard these mountebanks hawk the sword, Vanteris, of Perrin the Fourth. And the harp of Alcuin. If you think you can buy the hide of Avram's wolf, bloody hell. I have some dragon scales to sell you. If you think you can buy the hide of Avram's wolf, I have some dragon scales to sell you. I wonder if that's important later, part of a quest. Person who deceives others, especially in order to trick them out of their money. A charlatan. Well, that's a Monty Blancy, whatever it was. Wastrels? Fuck. I've heard these footboys, Hawk. That's what he should have said. Let's talk to water carrier. All day long we haul water from the river and the wells, all the while fending off servants who... Do you mind? Who seek to do mischief with their ladles. None have rights to the habitus. I feel like I talked to you before and I just forgot. Kind of washed over me the first time, I think. Ho ho. With so many hungry lords to feed, the servant's work is never done. The seneschal. Oh my god, I remember that word. Is that a real word? Seneschal? Because I remember it being in this game. It's like a senate, if I remember. The seneschal and the butlers are tyrants. I haven't slept in days. The seneschal. Or are they like either the senate or they're an order of like bodyguards or something? You know, like the royal guard? The steward or major domo of a medieval great house. Oh, it is a real word then. God, this game is heavy. Or government or other administrative process, judicial officer. I think it does come up. There's a bit. I'm sure that there's a sequence where you like go into a meeting of the seneschal or something. The Rennies will flee to the Kadim and will be chasing them across the sea. We'll burn their villages from Wulong to the Jade Temple, and Murad will swear allegiance to our king. Learning a lot. Castellan, but they take care of everything if the lord or king is away. Shady trader. You'll want a good blade in this city, boy, and I have just what you need. Is he going to open his coat? Show us some watches. Club. Staff. Short sword. Dagger. I don't think I want any of this. And you know when you play these games like your Dungeons and Dragons and whatever? Why do the vendors, they always just sell shit? Like, who wants the 50 gold pieces club? Who does a run with the club like that? Because these are the base weapons, aren't they? Maybe it... I don't know, maybe it would be good. I never use blunt weapons, though. Club percent. Is anybody here a clubber? In these sort of games? I always think they just look aesthetically ugly. It's got to be like, what do you call them, like S-stocks or whatever all the way. Oh, we talked to you, lady, embroiderer. It's the same with the Dark Souls. I've never really jammed with the priest because I can't be doing with their blunt weapons. Only when I had to be in Vagrant Story. Oh. Yeah, actually, you've been playing Vagrant Story as well. This game does, I think, have a little bit in common with it, with the chain combo system. Every able-bodied man with an honest trade belongs to the guild or brotherhood, from the Glassmakers Guild to the Fraternity of... Oh, hang on, there's more. It's like the Fraternity of Pin. It sounds like Monty Python. To the Fraternity of Pin, Rope and Buckle Makers. All hail the Fraternity of Pin. The Guild of Leneley established the standards that govern all the trade in this city. Without the standards, the marketplace would be in chaos. Reinforced Club is great. Big fan of Club in Dark Souls 1. Is that just because you're like a min-max, like, OP person though? Like, do you actually, like... Does the club speak to you? I'd rather have an aesthetically pleasing weapon. When I do Dark Souls, I usually do dexterity weapons, like katanas and stuff. I actually don't really like the katana that much, but it just, when you pump enough into dexterity, I think everybody ends up with a katana, don't they? Bad harvest, they say. Bah! When is it not a bad harvest? When do the farmers not moan about too much rain or too much sun? She reminds me of Uvalu, back at that town that we're in. Yeah, Force Club is one of the only things you can use to level 1 run, that's why I started using it, but it's powerful and causes bleed. So you were shoved into it then. The guilds of Lendeley is that. Oh, we know. Right, well, I think we've combed the outskirts. Let's dip in the middle. Club speaks to me too. Which club? Inder Club. Oh, there's somebody. Gimardi Trader. Potent elixirs I have in my inventory. What do you need? What's a Gimardi, do you think? Is that another race of people? Revive scroll. See, we can buy these. What's the difference between a rune and a tract? Does it last longer? And a scroll and a book and a tablet. What? Let's investigate. A rune charged with a weak fire arrow spell. Charges fire arrow 1. 5 for a tract. A weak one. Oh, this is a stronger version. Just 1. Copies of fire arrow. And a tablet. Powerful form of fire arrow. Okay. Well, I don't want any of these. I think I'll just actually use magic for now. And I have no money. Meteor. I remember Meteor is really useful. Does Meteor hurt friendly fire though? What's Curse? European Club Soccer, groundbreaking hooligan simulator for the Mega Drive. Well, we've already seen Sensible Fishing. Let's see. Just insanity. Oh, we've got the stock sounds now. That's better. Just insane how huge this game is. Oh my god. It's huge and yet we bump into you 3 times. I don't recognise... Who's that? Maidservant. You'll not find a more perverse assortment of odours in all the 13 kingdoms. Spices, animals, sweats and dung. On a hot summer day, I'd rather cut my nose off and go to the market. Speaking of sports, it's been a while since we've seen some actual content. Well, I did do some Tecmo World Cup a bit ago. I think I just deleted the VOD afterwards because I was a pissy bitch. Well, that's another way to exit, and there's 2 exits there. Oh my god, and the city goes on. I want to go to that fair, but if it didn't smell bad. Just cut your nose off, it's fine. Centuries ago, the market was nothing but fields where the Runari grazed their cattle. Their fortress is now the district we call the Old City, where harlots hold court. Ooh, let's go there. Posted something in chat, Discord. What Discord? Private Discord. Related to my oh, Rennie. Yay! There's the Rennie. Oh, you should have got it in English though. Nobody will understand. Mentalimon. Comprimados masticables. I beg your pardon. I guess it's available in Europe as well. See, there's a baby crying. What does she say? Out of salt. Where's this baby? I heard it in my left ear. Or was it just part of the stock track? Who are you? Oh, we know you. We know you. Oh, there's a horse cart as well, isn't there? That's not a horse cart though, is it? Dun, dun, dun. Have we talked to you? Yeah, it's a shady trader. Okay. Oh. Aguilo the merchant. For centuries, the Runari have traded on these grounds. The old chieftain Avram killed a wolf on this site, and so it is known as Avram Market. Do you sell anything, though? Hello? No. Just hit and run with tidbits about the marketplace as you walk by. Who's that? Baker? I should follow your example, ploughman, and live and die by the harvest. At least the wind, sun and rain are more just than the whims of the market. Maybe. Like, there's a whole fucking novel in this town. My stall is not a tavern. Are you going to pay for that cider? We'll pay after the battle. Our purses will be full of gold, says carousing soldier. Oh, that texture's warping. You'd be food for wolves and crows. How will I collect? Be careful there. The floor is warping. You'll get double from our plunder. You have my word. I fixed it with the camera. Oh! Your word won't buy spit, vulture. Let's buy another flagon to your health. Be careful. The world is falling apart. What is going on? It's weird to see how the game is pieced together. I wouldn't have thought that was a seam line. It's like the fun house with the, the catwalk that moves. Oh, Baker, we've talked to you. I didn't pay attention to any of that conversation. I was too busy. Lahara, take these soldiers. The only man to get the coin will be the gravedigger. No one lives forever. Ploughman, king's infantry, least of all. Oh, examine. Shit. The buttons are a little bit double squishy. I'll be dead before the moon is out. Beg your pardon. Been out for ages. So let me dice my gold away. Let me dance with every harlot in the old city. Let me drink my fill of cider and sing a ribald song. What was the examine that popped up? Found a healing draft. Is that the only one? Gotta go now, but have fun with the hundreds of side quests. Probably only gonna go a teeny. I want to finish this screen, at least. But thanks for hanging out. Sailors from up north say the Rennies are looking something. A boy? Let the Emperor have him. Why should the kingdom fight for his sake? You're a cooper's apprentice. What other chance do you have for glory? No bards sing of making barrels. The Rennies take no prisoners, farmer, the wide-eyed youth exclaims. If you're caught by a Rennie, he'll skin you alive and feed you to the rocals. What's a rocal? Hey, Kotar, the boy calls out. Come join the king's army. You'll make more in a month than you do in a year. Farming that patch of clay. Think of the plunder and glory. The boy in the ill-fitting armour looks not a day over 16. The bards will all sing of us when we're gone. You'll hear how valiant we fought and died. Oh dear. It always is how it is, isn't it? Rushing off. Okay. While we still have blood and breath, let's find pleasure where we can. We're the lambs for sacrifice on the altar of war. Ours is the blood spilled for the glory of Medeva. Why, it's the Lord of Parsnips, the Earl of Rutabaga, the Marquis of Aubergines. King Belias has asked for you. Where's the Court of Courgettes? I need him to lead my rear guard. Too bad Van Terrace left just before that. Dreamy. Hello, how you doing? This is my spirit animal. Watch yourself around these traders, ploughmen. Most of the fees of the land they're from. If they've sold you the helm of Galeras, you've been robbed. Well, they haven't, so I'm fine. You sodding folk, let me shiv you a wide smirk. Come here, why don't you? Afraid of the ricks? Huh, afraid of the Sahis. Shiv you in the dumb. Don't know how to kind of carry on after that. I'm good just waking up. Well, a stinking villain, yeah. That hand gesture. Give us a gan, eh? Tet your hawk, I will. You'll not be the first pid I ricked. You reek of the dung. I don't really quite understand what he's saying, to be honest. So what's up, you ooga pid? You want to fight? Show your blade and I'll match your steel. You best be tending your cabbages now, ploughman. If you give me your hawk, I'll forget I saw you. What's a hawk? Hawk? Give me your hawk. Is that like a pouch that you keep your money in? I don't know, I'm just guessing. There's nothing in these boxes, it would seem. Oh, there's something. 15 gold. Okay. What is over there? Another exit. Is that everything covered? We sell cows, eggs, pigs, chicken and geese, but the crown bought all our animals. The king's vassals have been summoned. Oh, I didn't read the punctuation. King's vassals have been summoned to Leneley, and the palace is full of hungry lords. Wow. I played this bit on Xbox when we were testing discs. Didn't realise there was a sequel. I think you probably played the sequel. Well, I don't think this was on Xbox. I think the sequel might have been. This is Summoner 1. Was Summoner 2 on Xbox? I know it was on GameCube and PlayStation 2. It would make sense that it was on Xbox. I'm just going to look now. Was this really on Xbox? Apparently Summoner 2 wasn't. This was on PC though. It was on PC and PlayStation 2. I don't remember if it was on the... I don't think it was. Oops, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Microsoft Windows, Mac OS. I don't know what you would be thinking of though. Was there another summoner? Oh, Jekha. Oh, he's a person. He's a party member, I'm pretty sure. 9 years ago, I swore on my brother's grave that if I ever crossed your path again, I would kill you, Joseph of Saran. Who are you? My name is Jekar. Do you remember me now? Yes, I remember. To think I once called you friend. Have you forgotten what happened in Saran? I tried to save our village. Trying to find it, but it had the exact same layout. Definitely don't think it was this. It might have been something that looks similar though. It wasn't like Baldur's Gate or something, was it? There were 2 games for this though, but the first one was on PlayStation 2 and PC. But it was made for PlayStation 2 because it was a launch game. And then the second game was on PlayStation 2 and GameCube. To think I once called you friend. Have you forgot what happened at Siran? I tried to save our village. Save our village? You destroyed it. You killed everyone. You burned our cottages to the ground. That demon destroyed Siran, not me. You used your ring. You summoned the demon. The ring that Yago gave you. You couldn't control your power, and so our people died. I threw that ring down a well. You should have thrown yourself in after it. Why are you here? Have you come to destroy Leneley? I'm looking for Yago. That old spider? I've seen him. I'd have cut him in half, but I'm now a soldier in the king's army. If he ever falls from royal favour, my axe will be waiting. Where is Yago? Fate is cruel. They call him Lord Yago, and he's a counsellor of Prince Sornahan. When he came to the city, he was begging in the gutters. Now he lives in the royal palace with the king and queen. Oh wait, I did test this on PS2. Forgot Big Top bought some PS2 discs. Start to get blurred in my memory. Yeah, this is like a pretty. I would say this is quite iconic for the PS2 in a Western world. I think people that bought the PlayStation 2 at launch very likely played this game or thought about it. I don't know. They might not have finished it, but they might have picked it up. It was just one of those very early titles. I don't think a lot of people played it though. I don't know. I feel like it's one of those that maybe people just tried it and moved on. How did he become the prince's counsellor? You could go to the palace and ask him yourself, but I doubt the guard would let a Kotar like you through the front gate. Kotar? Peasant, serf, villain, ploughboy, farmer. Pick a name that pleases you if you don't like Kotar. Farewell. If I ever find you outside the walls of the king's city, I will have my vengeance, Joseph of Saran. I'm pretty sure he joins us though. Oh, we've yappity yap yap yap. I'm sure that he's the 4th party member. Spoilers. He's in the opening movie though, isn't he? The montage. Right, we've got so many places to go. So now there's the marketplace is. Oh my god, this is still continuing. Oh lord, I thought this was the end of the screen, but it's not. Beware the 4 riders, ploughmen. They make the bones of the dead fight for them. Immortal they are. To think we what? What were you saying? With a single blow their swords will split an armoured knight in half. Sort of an early game that does that, the dynamic talking. Like so many games do this now, don't they? You know, you walk past people and they have dialogue or they talk or something. I know the Tales of series started doing that. Journeyman. I'm no coward, but who wants to die in battle? Only knights win glory. Cartwright. So the boy fancies himself a warrior, eh? Foolish lad. He was born to fashion wheels and nothing grander. Who'll be the one to make the cart to haul his bones away? Who indeed? If the master thinks I'll waste my life on wheels and carts, he's a sodden old fish. Why should I live a coward? Why should I hide behind the walls of Leneley? The king needs me. Will your king wear black when you die? Ooh. Fucking cutthroat. I'm no oh, we talked to you. And you are a coward. Oh, examine the well. The well is full of cool, clear water. But as you can see, Dreamy, this game has the most gigantic town. I've been in the town for probably about an hour now, hour and a half. I did a side quest sort of, and then came back again. But we've only touched 2 screens of the town so far, and it goes on and on and on. But the town is huge, but the game kind of only has this one town in it. All other places are really small. You give me nothing but bones and gristle. Who do you think you are, Ingrate? The Duke of Torramund? Cursed woman. You'll have me eat my own feet. Ooh. Found a lightning room. Ooh. I'm trying to talk to this guy, but he's obviously not having it. Whatever, go eat your feet. Can't talk to her either. That's strange. Butcher. If you can't find what you're looking for, there's a market in the old city that sells what you need. Ask for Tancred, Prince of Beggars and King of Fleas. Look at this shield you made. You're a threat to the king and his army. Aww. How sad. I'll wager Lahara's apprentice gets kind of treatment. Nothing I ever do is good enough. When I make a halberd, he mocks me labour. When I make a shield, he smashes it to bits. That's what that guy was asking for. Thick-skulled ignoramus, lazy, worthless son of a pig. Can't find a good apprentice in this godforsaken age. An entire generation born as dumb as my hammer. Those areas are pretty huge, yeah. From the cesspool of the old city to the elegant privy of His Majesty's palace, the refuse of Leneley passes from the bowels of its populace to the bowels of our city. I'm curious about who this is. Oh. Without taxes, our cities would fall into ruin. The weapons of the guard would rust. Our walls would crumble and fall. Outlaws would rule the kingdom, looting as they pleased. But I think it is one of those things like, a bit like Final Fantasy 12, if you've played that. Although there is a couple more, but like the main city is this city, and everything else is just like very small. A bit like the tutorial area that we started in. This is the big place, and I think you kind of come back to here a few times. The 6 trees stand for the 6 princes of King Calderon. An ambitious cousin, murdered the princes and usurped the throne, but their ghosts drove him to madness. You have Art Lad 123, you got Art Lad collections that display them. You do? Where did you get that? Apparently that's quite expensive these days, I think. I was testing it out earlier. The first one, I really like the pixel graphics. I've never played them before though. Is there nothing in there? That texture's warping too, it's making me feel dizzy. Oh, we've talked to you. Is this the end of the screen? To arms, son of the Runari. Our arrows sing through the air. Fight like the wolf killer. And weep where Gallerus fell. Got it years ago. How much did you pay for it? Do you remember? Witness the dawning of the new age of here. I think it's worth like about $140 now. Today's battles are tomorrow's legends. Of whom will jonglers sing, and who will be the Alcuin of our age to fill our hearts with passion. Whew, the dialogue's starting to take a toll on me. I think I just want to finish this screen and then I'm gonna call it. I think this game will be quite nice to do in smaller bursts for the moment. Greetings, sir. Bibris the bookseller at your service. Farewell. I think like some of these have these like red exclamation marks, but don't seem to do anything. I think they're part of maybe a quest that I haven't got yet. How will I arm an entire host? I've only one apprentice, and we've worked without sleep since the Rennies sacked Raintull. I'll be old and crooked before the new moon. You know, if this keeps on going, I think I might just stop. Oh, I want to save in a good place though, so I can kind of remember what I've seen and what I haven't. I'm gonna stop here, I think. Let's talk to you first though. Have you heard about the four riders, not men of flesh and blood, but devils of the darkest sorcery? By the gods, may I never catch sight of them. Makes you think of big cities. It reminds me of like Rabanastra in Final Fantasy 12. It's got that sort of hustle and bustle about it. I think I'm going to save there though, because it's like 3 AM now. Game saved. Ooh. I like that, that was fun. I'm almost tempted to play this again tomorrow actually. I kind of just want to get into the story bit. Or at least do a bit more of the town. I mean, I'll show you what I mean. I'm not going to save, but I'll just quickly run. We can run into the next area. I can even find the exit. But you can just sort of see how the town just goes on and on and on in different directions. And Lenale, the old, oh, so there's the old city, which is like where the slums, like I think the thieves and whatever are. We've got all of this area that you can like run through, all these people to talk to. It's pretty ambitious for a launch site. It's insane the scope of this. I mean, like I said, it is just one city. It's not like the entire game is like this, but this one city is absolutely enormous. It's not just like, I mean, it's not physically big. It kind of is, but it's the fact that there's so many NPCs and dialogue and just stuff going on. So much programming. I mean, we'll have another look at this tomorrow, but if I can find another exit. This is actually, I think, where we need to go, because the only things that I vaguely remember about this game is we need to learn about the thieves or something and meet a character. And this is where we do it. But yeah. Oh, there's a press gang leader. But we'll save this until another time. Well, that's an entrance or something. I think that's where we do have to go. I think I've missed the exit. Been an enjoyable watch so far. Just gets a bit, whoa, I don't know how, you know, some streamers like stream like visual novels and stuff. Just like, whoa, takes it out of you. It's like when I streamed, was it Deltarune? I need to do the rest of that. But when I streamed that Deltarune, it was like, oh my god, I need a drink. But that's the old part of town, and then there's like the new part of town, and then there's like the church and all that stuff, and then there's the actual palace, if I remember. It just goes on like that. But we'll end there. Bit iffy about streaming the Chrono Cross visual novel thing, yeah. I also think I'm enjoying this because I'm trying to just get into it and I'm not thinking too much. Just reading the characters' dialogue has been really fun. I think I'm sort of enjoying it. But with a visual novel, I think I'd start to tune out a bit and not... I wouldn't take in what I'm reading because I'm trying to like read chat and reading a book essentially. I don't know if I could do that. Right, we'll finish up the